It's Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances and save an additional $1,000 when you buy 4 select LG major appliances. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5 amp-hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Get the job done for less at Lowe's. We help. You save. Valid through 9/26. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Are you being audited or investigated? Has the IRS sent you a letter demanding payment? You may not owe what they claim. Make this free call to the tax doctor now. Let them negotiate with the IRS on your behalf.
800-234-0316. 800-234-0316. That's 800-234-0316.
What's the best way to get rid of a timeshare that you don't want? Call the Timeshare Exit Hotline. We're a group of attorneys that help customers legally exit their timeshares. It's an easy process. We guarantee results or you pay nothing. Exit your timeshare today. Call now.
800-890-5957. 800-890-5957. That's 800-890-5957.
Dino's Night Out on WRMN. It's the talk of the town, so come on and listen now. It's Dino's Night Out on WRMN 1410. On WRMN, it's the talk of the town, so come on and listen now. It's Dino's Night Out on WRMN 1410.
Hey, and hello everybody. Another episode of Dino's Night Out right here at WRMN 1410 AM and on the YouTube. Got a great show lined up for today. As you know, we have America's First Responders Fest, and that is coming up this Saturday. That's tomorrow for those of you playing the home game. And it's from 1 to 6. It'll be in downtown Hampshire. You can't miss it. You can't miss the parking. You can't miss nothing. If you can't find it, we're going to get you a dog, okay? Because everything is right there labeled nicely. You'll be welcomed very warmly by the village of Hampshire. One person is nicer than the other, and it's going to be a great, great show. Rain or shine, we know we're going to have a little bit of rain, but that's not going to stop us. Not going to stop us for a second. So, you know what? As always, and he's also supporting us over at the venue, our show is brought to you by Ron Onesti, Oshos.com, the Arcada Theater and the Des Plaines Theater. Alike, he has both. And we do a quick rundown of what he's got going on. Tonight, over at the Arcada, is that Fridays? Okay, this is Fridays at Deacon Blues because the Arcada may be dark tonight because they postponed the one show to December. So this is what's going on, not at the Arcada. This is at the Des Plaines, which is 1476 Minor Street. They're called Deacon Blues. Deacon Blues are 12 stellar musicians, composers, and educators based in Chicago. And they share a very unique passion for the Becker-Fagan repository, better known to the world as Steely Dan. Under the musical leadership of Stephen Cohen and Thomas Linsick, I'm sure I butcher names all the time. The group reads as who's who of world-class musicians. So they're a great outfit. Deacon Blues, very good. You'll like them. You get a kick out of them. And they're at the Des Plaines Theater and I think it's an 8 o'clock show. Now, we have another 8 o'clock show, and this is on Saturday, and this is at the Arcata Theater. Arcata Theater at 105 East Main Street is going to have, oh, my God, Leo, I don't know how to say the name, Leon and Friends, and they've blown the minds for legends of fans with their uncanny ability to capture the spirit musically and fire at America's supergroup Chicago. We all love Chicago. They are a great group. It's hard to be a cover band and hard to duplicate their music, but they have since expanded their repertoire to include Earth, Wind, and Fire, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Ides of March, Stevie Wonder, Steely Dan, Deep Purple, and a few originals of their own. They're an 11-piece band with over 700,000 social media followers. So nonetheless, they're a great band. They cover a lot of different groups, and they'd be worth a see. And that's over at the Arcata Theater tonight at 8 o'clock. But we got a guy that's going to be calling in, and I think it's him on the phone right now. You see on the screen, if you're not watching, it's Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones, which will be our opening act for tomorrow's America's First Responders Fest. Let's check it out and see if it's Rick on the phone. Hello, caller, you're on the line. Is this Rick?
This is Rick. How you doing?
Rick Lindy, how are you, sir?
I'm great, Dino. How about yourself?
Couldn't be better. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Me as well. It sounds like a fantastic time. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, I think the weather's going to hold out for us. I'm kind of seeing that we may get a little rain early on before the event even starts. Our event doesn't start until 1 p.m., so that's pretty good. I think we're going to have a good run at some decent weather. What do you think?
I believe so as well. I think it should be great. And the temperature has been real nice the last few days, and sounds like an ideal time for a fest to me.
Yeah, we're going to have all kinds of fun there. Who you got coming with you? Who's with your setup for tomorrow? Do you mind if I ask?
This will be Tim Johnson on lead guitar, and on bass is Francis Condorf, on drums is Tracy Shepard, and then myself on lead vocals and rhythm guitar. And this is the typical Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones lineup these days. We do a majority of the shows together, and it would be a great time. We're really looking forward to it. Love Hampshire, nice little town. I cruised through there today on my way back from taking my wife home from work. She's a travel nurse, so I was passing through. I thought, I'm going to drop through Hampshire and see exactly where this is at. And I know there's a vintage kind of museum gas station right over there on State Street. I want to say it's like 106 State Street.
Yes.
And a very cool place. Love seeing that vintage look. I went there with my Indian motorcycle once and took some shots of that, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's you know what? Every time I've been there, we did the Coon County Festival, which is how I met Mike Reed, mayor, and Jay, the city manager. One person, like I say, in Hampshire is kinder than the other. And I think they're up to like about 10,000 residents there. And every event they have, you'd swear to God, every single resident shows up. And we planned on doing this, in the Hampshire area. So we started talking, and they says, hey, you know what? We've closed the street down for other different festivals. And I think 2 months prior to ours, they did. So they said, well, let's give this a shot. And I think, our first responders will appreciate it because this is our opportunity in music and song and a couple of stage presentations to let them know just exactly what they mean to us. And you've been a fan of the first responders. You always have been. So
absolutely.
I just think it's going to be a nice mixture.
Yes. It's always good to give them something back for what they give to all of us for when we're in need, and they're there for us.
Yeah, well, You give a lot of good entertainment, whether people are in need or not. I'm telling you. And I think I have. I don't know if you're watching on the on our app account or on the Facebook or the YouTube, but I've got you in the one picture of you with the guitar, and then I think I got represented the 4 gentlemen that you mentioned, a stage performance you had. So
sure, no, I appreciate it. I saw you did a little video plug with your fancy royal blue or purplish blue jacket.
Oh yeah, that was my blue one. Yeah, I got to switch them around. You know, I got my this is like the Bozo one, the red collar with the black collar with the red jacket. It's like what Mr. Ned used to wear. You know, and around here sometimes it is a circus. All I got to do is get the whistle, and I'll certainly be the ringmaster. Ringmaster Ned, that's me.
That's funny. I happened to notice on one of the videos when I was searching for WRMN information that there was a video of you with the neck brace on too when you had surgery.
Yeah, that was.
Was that recently?
Yeah, I had the cervical C3 through 7 taken care of, and I tell you, it's really helped. I'm able to use my hands again, walking a lot better. But I'm still I can't move my right arm as good as I like to. They call it C5 palsy, so I'm going through a lot of physical therapy, but I'm feeling better. My voice is in itself. It gets real gravelly and, you know, kind of rugged sounding, but, and you know me, I'm not that rugged. So it'll go away, I hope, and I can get back to myself. But yeah, a lot of people have asked, and thank you for asking, but I'm on the road to recovery. You know, I don't have time to stop. So I got to keep going, right?
That's good. That'll keep you young, keep pacing along and moving. And every time I've called you to talk to you about this festival, you seem like you were right in the middle of doing something. So it sounds like you're pretty active all the time.
You know what? Everybody thinks it's so simple. You know what it's like to run a festival. I mean, you know, I don't know if you have managers or if you manage most of the stuff yourself. I know you do a great deal on your own. But, you know, I've been doing festivals forever for different Italian clubs and organizations, Chamber of Commerce stuff, Knights of Columbus, my parish. But this is a little different because, you know, I needed the power, I needed the stage. I mean, everything you have to bring separate. And the one guy that was supposed to have this all hooked up, well, lo and behold, 2-3 days before, he was unable to fulfill his commitment. So once again, we're chasing our tail, but, you know, it's all under control. I got the power generator today. I think I was talking to you earlier. So we have power. We got the spider box. We have everything that we need. Dennis checked it all out, so I know we have everything we need. So, yeah, we're in good shape. I don't think we're going to have a problem really with anything. I think it's all going to be good. We're going to have, like I said, great weather.
Gorilla Audio, he's a good guy. I've worked with him a lot of times doing the Drendel Ballroom over at Del Webb, and you've got some support from Nick from Midwest Entertainers helping with the stage and all.
He's the gentleman that hooked me up with the stage. That was my, like, I don't want to say second choice, but the other guy I'd contacted first, I had no idea that Nick was able to handle the stage. But I'll tell you what, he walked me through everything. He says, don't worry about a thing. He says, you even get the big one. You know, so we're getting a heck of a deal and a heck of a stage. We're getting that big 40-foot stage. I don't know if you know which one you're going to have. And
that's great. No, Nick told me a little bit about it. He's one of my agents that books me at some shows. We've done shows all over the place, including Texas and throughout the Midwest here. Of course, it's Midwest Entertainers, but he went even further with Texas. We've done some stuff. So he always does a good job.
Yeah, and for him to find a last minute, find a stage, I was like, oh, my God. You know what I mean? You think that's when you count your blessings, you know? And
that's true. Well, it's a good cause that we're going to do this for, and, you know, giving back to the folks that continue to give and that are available 24/7 to us if we are in need, and also the military, of course, with, you know, all that they've provided for us with their service. So
Yeah, and where are we without our first responders? And that's why we've got some good organizations that we're going to be donating the funds to. We have canines for veterans, and they provide service dogs for the veterans and any first responders. Helping with the PTSD and any other, mental health that they need. You know what I mean? It's
Sure.
it gives them that comfort, especially with a service dog. Whether it be PTSD or other situations that they're going through, it's always nice to have something near and dear and close to you. Plus, they do counseling. Then we have for police and fire end, we have the Illinois Peer Support Team, and they represent, conversations that you need to have. You go through something very traumatic. Some of these calls are bigger than ourselves. All of them are, as far as I'm concerned. But, they're bigger than what you could manage sometimes. And this Illinois Peer Support Group is good for your mental health. It gives you an opportunity to talk to somebody, say how you're feeling, because the suicide rate is just spiking. Veterans left and right. 1-2 veterans a day, the number has gone up to. Law enforcement and firefighters, same thing. The suicide rate is crazy. So having somebody that they can talk to, we felt that was a good place to get some funds to. And then we also have True Patriots Care. And he's the gentleman, Mr. Christofferson, that most of the time he's out there doing it all by himself. And he's up in the years. I bet he's about 70 years old. And
wow.
Yeah, and he's the one that lines the streets for any of the processions for veterans, and now he's added it to any first responders. So it's
it's great.
it's
We're
quite
totally looking forward to performing. I'm not sure if all the listeners are familiar with me and the band, but I know there's probably some have been on the show a few times, and we love to do the Americana early roots of rock and roll music, everything from Johnny Cash, Elvis, Roy Orbison, Jerry Lee Lewis, Buddy Holly, Del Shannon, the Beatles, all kinds of acts like that, Chuck Berry. So you'll be hearing all those different songs. And is there going to be a car show this time?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is. We have the Gilbert Eagles organization, 1047. Okay. Yeah, they're going to be lined on State Street before they get to the stage. So you'll be looking at all those neat cars that are out there, different exotic, antique vehicles. We have a gentleman that's going to be bringing like a Humvee with 50 caliber on top, representing the military. We may have a 1964 fire engine there, and I'm not sure, the Fire Protection District for Hampshire, they had mentioned they would bring one of their vehicles by as well. So it's just to give the awareness so people see what the different vehicles are. The older ones are kind of neat. Kind of remembers what we used to have. Used to ride on the back step to go to a fire call. Now they're in these cabs. They all got these headsets on, and it's a totally different world. Totally different world. But
that's great. We have an eventful weekend. The band, we've got some other things going on. Tonight we're at Eaglewood Resort out in Itasca. And we'll definitely mention over the microphone about the Hampshire First Responders Fest. So, it's going to be...
Where are you going to be in Itasca?
Eaglewood Resort.
Oh, okay. That's right. They changed the name to that one. Yeah, I know where that's at.
Yeah, it's just...
Is that
right
the old
here.
Nordic Hills?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Yeah, right around the corner from my house. Yeah.
1401 Nordic Road, I believe it is. And,
yes.
So it's a nice resort. They have a nice restaurant there. I'm pretty sure we'll be indoor tonight. Sometimes we're outdoor. They have an outdoor stage, but I think there's a 50% chance of rain after 8. So they'll probably put us in the Prairie View restaurant, which is where the old Viking room used to be at Nordic back in the 70s and 80s, if you remember that.
Yes, and doesn't it have, though, like the big sliding open windows over there where the fresh air comes in? Isn't that room as well?
We don't really have that right now, but there is definitely access to the patio.
Yes.
Which is a beautiful patio, and sometimes we perform out there, but I think we'll probably be indoor. There's a nice dance floor there. But, tonight we've got virtually the same lineup, just not Tracy on drums. We got Andy Trippy on drums tonight. And then tomorrow will be Tracy Shepard on drums with Tim Johnson and Francis Condorf and myself. So it'll be a great time. Really looking forward to it.
You know, and your musicians are outstanding, because I'm going to tell you something. I've been and I've watched your different shows, different places, and you've had, different accompaniments. You cannot tell the difference. So, I mean, you put on a great show, Rick, is all I'll tell you. I mean, you really do. I think that the people will be pleased. Anybody that can make it out to Hampshire tomorrow, hey, and if you're in the area tonight, you got nothing going on, Eaglewood, which is in Itasca on Nordic, and what's the address?
1401 Nordic Road, that's in Itasca, which is basically Rowling Road, Old 53, and 20, which is Lake Street. So
right.
It's real close to there.
You can get it off of, like you're saying, right off of Lake Street. Boom, you're right in there. You make that first traffic light when you get off of the expressway, and you'll turn right because the road kind of takes a bend. So
yes.
Yeah, and then Rowling Road, again, you'll catch it right there in Nordic. So that's 1401 Nordic Road, right in Itasca. So it's a great place. Eaglewood has done a nice job on the renovation, and I think as long as you're there and you have your gang over there with you, you're going to put on a beautiful show. You always do. I mean, you've done the First Responders Fest for us before, and we've had you here in the studio, and you put on such an outstanding show. I mean, we had the guys with the stand-up bass. I mean, everybody that was walking by was stopping and looking, and so it's great. We love having you here. We love partnering with you on any event we can.
Keith and Rami, they're part of my rockabilly unit, and I've been making plans today for a couple other future shows that we do some theater shows as well. One of the things we're doing this December will be at Tivoli Theater in Downers Grove, and sharing the bill with Tony Ocean's Rat Pack. They do a tribute to Dean, Frank, and Sammy, and then we do our Jukebox Legends show, which is all the legends of 50s, 60s rock and roll. So that's going to be on Thursday, December 4th. So we get just a lot of really cool stuff going. Next week we'll be at White Pines Resort Dinner Theater, which is in Mount Morris, Illinois. Have you ever been out there, Dino?
Well, when you said White Pines, I was thinking Wooddale. Remember White Pines?
Oh, okay.
But the one you're speaking of, I don't think I've been to that one. No. But it sounds like it'd be a great event.
Mount Morris, the state park.
And what do they do when they want to find you on your website? Or is it better Facebook? What's the best?
TheWildOnesBand.net. TheWildOnesBand.net. You can always Google Rick Lindy, and the first thing that comes up is usually the website. So it's always real good.
TheWildOnesBand.net. You can go to Facebook. You pull up Rick Lindy, and you're going to see it, Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones. However you do a search, it's all going to point you to the same direction. You've got that going on nice. Your website's nice and clean. Your Facebook, you got a lot of stuff going on. Check out the different events. Again, we're going to just say Itasca, Eaglewood. You don't want to miss that this evening in Itasca, 1401 Nordic. You know what that means? Bottom of the hour, Rick.
Yes.
We're going to. You want to hang on and go to the next, or we're just going to catch you tomorrow?
Whatever you'd like. If you want, we could just see you tomorrow, or if you want me to hold on a bit, I can do that. Whatever you'd like.
Well, let's. We'll hold you for at least. Hold on. We'll go through this break, And when we return, everybody, we are going to be with Rick Lindy. He's Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones, going to be performing at America's First Responders tomorrow. So everybody hang tight, and we'll be back in just a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll be better, Rick. We'll hold you over for another couple of 10 minutes, and we'll on other people to hear where you're playing, okay?
Sure.
Sounds great. Thank you very much. Hang on, everybody. We'll be back right after this.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Sky Rizzi. A protest drew dozens to the District 300 Administration Building Wednesday as some parents are calling on School Board President Nancy Zettler to step down following a social media post she shared regarding Charlie Kirk's death. The post read, quote, "The first thing I thought of when I heard this today was karma is an expletive. Then I read this." She then posted a quote from Qasim Rashid, which centered around the need for empathy following Kirk's assassination. Parents within District 300 said Zettler's post was insensitive. Around 60 people gathered outside the D300 Administration Building in Algonquin on Monday morning, as well as the intersection of Harnish and Randall Roads, to protest. Batavia officers were dispatched to a report of a burglary in progress just before 9:45 p.m. Monday at All the Smoke on West Wilson Street. Police said officers discovered evidence of forced entry through the front door, but no suspects were at the scene. Officials are still working to determine what was stolen. An investigation into the incident is ongoing, and no charges have been filed. Anyone with information is asked to contact Batavia Police at 630-454-2500. This week, the Wheaton City Council voted against a zoning amendment request to allow a domestic animal lounge at 923 Roosevelt Road. The petitioners, Candle of Hope, were aiming to build a cat lounge that would provide housing and play areas for cats and allow visitors to interact with the cats. The council voted 6-1 against the resolution. Councilmember Scott Brown raised concerns that the zoning amendment did not line up with plans the city council had discussed for the Roosevelt Road corridor. The Federal Reserve cut its key interest rate by a quarter point Wednesday and projected it would do so twice more this year. The move is the Fed's first cut since December, and it lowered its short-term rate to about 4.1%, down from 4.3%. Before the meeting, investors on Wall Street had projected 5 cuts for the rest of this year and next. Fed officials submit their forecasts of future rate moves anonymously. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste-free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
When disaster strikes, flood or fire, every second counts. At Emergency Construction Group, they specialize in immediate response and same-day service for any residential, commercial, or industrial emergency across the Chicagoland area. With over 30 years of experience, they've got the expertise, manpower, and equipment to handle any size loss fast. They follow strict IICRC guidelines to restore your property the right way, the first time. Their team values transparency, constant communication, and strong ethical standards because your peace of mind matters. Licensed, bonded, and insured, they're here for you 24/7, 365 days a year. Call 855-4ECG now. That's 855-432-4669. Or visit their website at emergencyconstructiongroup.com and let Emergency Construction Group put your life back together one step at a time. That's Emergency Construction Group. Your satisfaction is their passion.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. This afternoon, partly sunny with a high near 86, temperatures falling to around 83. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low around 64. Rain likely with new rainfall amounts possible. Tomorrow, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a high near 79. Currently, it is 86 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Dino's Night Out on WRMN. It's the talk of the town. So come
Hey, and we're back. Dino's Night Out, WRMN 1410. And we got our very good friend, Rick Lindy, on the line. So he held out through the break. So I cut the music a little bit short. As you know, I love playing that song, Rick.
No, that's great. I appreciate being on the show here. It's great to always be on your show. You're always very cordial and gracious with airtime for Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones Band. We appreciate that.
You are welcome absolutely anytime. I've told you that. You've made a few appearances for us. I mean, the last one was, I'm telling you, people still talking about it, and it was outstanding. I mean, in a little studio like this, how you could get that sound, I mean, to be so good, can't believe it. But it's on our YouTube. Anybody that wants to find it, you go to youtube.com. I think it's a / at WRMN Radio. That's how you would find that. But listen, tell a few people, what other events you got going on? Where else you going to be? I know you're going to be, we got December 4th covered. But what do you got in October? What's going on?
Well, we've got, beside your festival tomorrow at Eaglewood Resort tonight, we've got Sunday Warrenville Art on the Prairie, and that's basically an art fest that's near City Hall in Warrenville, Illinois, from 2:30 to 4. And then we're cruising straight from there to the Croatian Cultural Club out in Joliet on Sunday night. We're going to be playing there. The weekend after that, we've got the Blue Fest in Elgin, South Elgin, I guess it is. We've got a place called Big Ed's Barbecue out in Waukegan, Illinois.
What's the barbecue?
Big Ed's.
Big Ed's Barbecue, okay.
It's out in Waukegan. After that, we've got also next week at White Pine State Park Dinner Theater. That's the 24th and 25th. What's great about that is you're out at a state park surrounded by pines, log cabins that people rent and stay in. Some of the audience comes by a bus all over different areas and sees the band during a dinner show that we perform there. We do our Jukebox Legends show there.
Okay.
And that's been something we've been doing for a decade now. One of the first shows we were there, we were expecting our daughter, and she was an infant when we went to the second show. And now she's 10 years old. So.
Wow. Time goes fast, doesn't it, man?
It really does.
Your daughter is 10 years old.
Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones outfit for her the first time she was out there, and now she's going on her 4th musical play that she's in this year for her school. So she's loves to do theater, and she loves to draw and paint, which is her main thing, and so it's great to see that.
Yeah, you were mentioning that when you were on the show that your daughter was into that theatrics right now, and that's good. That's great exposure, you know.
It is. She's still kind of a little shy and doesn't really want a speaking part yet, but she likes to get out there and be part of the chorus and things like that. And it's a nice thing to get kids out and doing things within the arts that keeps them out of trouble, right?
100%. Anytime you can get them involved in the arts, that's great. whether it's an instrument, whether it's acting, whatever it is, being involved in something, activities, I mean, they're second to none. You know, you got the soccer moms they always talk about and this and that, taking them here, my daughter's all over the place with my 2 granddaughters. And I don't know how she does it. And I thought I used to cover a lot of ground when she was young, and I had twins after her. So it's a lot, you know, and it's good that they're involved, though. I will tell you that.
No, it is, and I'm all over the map lately. We just did a show at Onward Fine Arts Center in Moquoquota, Iowa, last Saturday night, and pretty soon we're going to be going back to Iowa at the Kagan Opera House in Kagan, Iowa. It's going to be on Sunday, October 5th. The day before that, we're doing a car show at Broken Oar out in Port Barrington. Have you ever been out there before?
I've heard. I haven't been to that one either. No. In Port Barrington?
Yeah, it's in Port Barrington, and so it's right off Roberts Road, kind of like off 59 and Roberts Road.
Is that's south though, Roberts Road, right? Is it Robert? I'm thinking South Robert. You know, Tinley area, not Tinley. It's an unincorporated area out that way.
Just it's just part of one of all the little Barrington towns that they have.
Oh, okay. So you're up north then. I got you.
Yeah. So
by that Penny Road or something in that area.
It's not far from there. That's okay. Penny Road is kind of by the Barrington, southern part of Barrington by the Arboretum.
Right. Okay.
And this would be a little further down 59 north, called Port Barrington. So
I've never heard of Port Barrington. I knew all of the Barringtons, I thought, but never heard of Port Barrington. I'll tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you, you have a packed schedule. I mean, I know you get tired, like just, what a long day. But you're never tired of performing, are you?
I would lie if I said I wasn't tired sometimes of it, you know, especially since I'm doing 26 shows this month. But I would say that I still enjoy doing it. I love to do festivals and theaters, probably my favorite thing to do. So we're, definitely looking forward to First Responders Fest tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's at State in Jackson and Hampshire.
Yes.
Right in that area. So
it's going to be right on the corner. They're shutting down State Street, so we're putting the stage on an angle so it could cover both of the streets.
I guess I should get out there a little early and so I can get a place to get through.
Yeah, we'll get you taken care of. I know you're coming. All you got to do is call me on the cell phone. We'll get you in, whatever you need. And like I said, they're accommodating there, and everyone's willing to help. I may send you around the back way to the back of the stage so you could unload all your equipment. It may be easier for you. But we'll figure it out.
That'd be great.
Yeah. We'll be setting up 10:30, and I'll be there even before that. But you don't go on till like 1:15-ish, because we're going to do the Star Spangled Banner. And then after that, We'll have a quick military presentation, and then we'll get going with your music.
No, excellent. We did a similar thing at Last Fling in Naperville on Labor Day. So it's always awesome to do something that gives back to the community.
I tell you want to bring your daughter. Can she sing the Star Spangled Banner?
She probably would be too shy to do that.
I didn't know if she could. Yeah. Because you were mentioning that before, and I said, well, how's she getting in the theater if she's shy? I mean, you got to remember those lines, and you're up in front of people.
Yeah, for some reason with the plays, she has the courage to get up there and do it. But I've tried to get her to come up during a regular show and say something on the mic, and she'll do it like on a break. She'll come up there and say a few words, but it's usually just, like she's sound checking or something,
Yeah.
She's pretty shy yet.
She'll get there. She's only 10 years old, man. Give her a break. I mean,
Right.
I have to applaud her to even want to go onto a stage, much less in front of all those people. That's a big step. I think she's doing great. 10 years old. She wants to be like Dad, wants to be a performer.
Part of her does, yeah. I'm actually an artist, too, and she's got definitely that side. So she loves to paint and draw, too, which is great.
Yeah. That gives you a little, brings you back, after a long tour, maybe 4 or 5 different locations. If that's what you're still doing, you get back and maybe do a drawing or a painting. That's got to give you a little peace, I would think.
Sure. And right now I'm just doing a lot of these high-end models that I do and paint for various customers all over the country and different parts of the world. And most of them are old movie related. I just did one of George Reeves from the Superman TV series for
neat.
a company in Canada.
Yeah.
And people there on my Facebook can see that. You can also see models by Rick Lindy on Instagram if you want to see some of those.
So you're able to do the delicate work that goes along with it.
Oh, yeah, I do all the real intricate, fine detail. I started out at 8 years old with my dad as members of the Military Miniature Society of Illinois. So we were doing a lot of military stuff going all over to different parts of Canada, to Pennsylvania, to the big Chicago show that's usually in October. If somebody wants to see some really cool, detailed models of a lot of different subjects, not just military or old movies, that's science fiction or historical, whatever, go to the Military Miniature Show that's going to be at the Marriott in Schaumburg on October 17th and 18th. And you won't be disappointed. It's a cool show. It's the 50th anniversary this year, and I was at the very first one when I was 8 years old. I'm 58 now, so.
Wow. Well, that brings awesome. That brings back some time, right?
Oh, yeah.
I remember talking to you about the fact that you liked drawing, painting, and doing. I didn't realize that you were like painting, small detailed models and what have you. I thought you were making more like, paintings and different drawings. I didn't realize. My father was a commercial artist, and on occasion he would do a painting, but it was usually like a layout of a product, like Milk Duds, Brock Candies, Light Beer. He was actually the designer of that original packaging.
That's cool. We have that in common. My dad did that for a living as well.
Yeah.
So my dad was a commercial artist and did the same thing. Like he would love to do paintings and drawings of what he really wanted to do. And then he was, as a job, my dad designed all the road signs for Illinois and like different graphics. Like if you see the badge on maybe the Hampshire Police Department or something, my dad would not only design it, but he would knew how to hand paint it right on the vehicle.
Oh, wow.
Which was pretty cool.
Yeah. Even my father, for little side job stuff, he would, letter the doors, which is a lost art. They used to have detailers and, car painters that would do pinstriping with paint, not just these little decals,
I know. I admire that a lot. I do some drawings and paintings, but I've been, for the last 6 years, doing a lot more models, some commissions for various people, and the prototypes that you see on the box art of the model box when people buy it. That sample is done by me for certain companies.
Okay,
so
I got it. Cool. So they're seeing your work first before it's mass produced.
Right.
That's awesome. And that's October 17th and 18th. 18th is my birthday. And it's going to be at the Marriott. It's the detailed painting. What's the name of the event?
It is the Military Miniature Society of Illinois show. And that's at the Schaumburg Marriott. And I believe that's Martingale Road in Schaumburg.
Right across the, you can see it parallel to the expressway, 53.
Right. There used to be a company called Advantis that you would see from the highway. That's
Yeah, in the
part of
corner
IBM.
there. Yeah.
When I was a kid, like in my early 20s, I was the guy in the mailroom doing all the deliveries for the whole building, and then I would do music on weekends and evenings when I first was doing music. So, boy, it's going back a few years, I guess, now.
Well, this is it, though. You got yourself to where you wanted to be. It's just straight performing. I mean, this is your thing. When we talked before, you even told me that all you ever wanted to do was be able to just make this your living, and you're doing well at it, I think. I mean, you've got a lot of beautiful venues, and we talked about sitting in with other musicians, and that's what happens with you. I mean, you're obviously the mainliner, so to speak, out of the group, but you need to have your bass guy, you need to have your drums, and what you're accustomed to. So it's nice that you're able to travel around and sometimes pick up, two, three other guys when you're out of state or whatever, so that you don't have to worry about everybody all traveling.
That's for sure. Now, definitely makes a difference. The guys in the band are definitely an asset to doing this. Thankfully, I have a number of each position in the band due to the volume of shows that I do since I'm doing it for a living. Not everybody in the band is doing it for a living, so sometimes they can't do every show, so then I've got other people that I can choose from to work for me.
Nice. And that gives you some family time because you're making your own schedule, so if you don't want to work a certain show, you just back out or switch your dates around a little bit. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, I could do that. Usually I try to take the kids to Disney World every year.
Oh, that's great.
It's been kind of a tradition, and let me tell you, that does hit you in the pocketbook.
Oh, my God. Has it gotten it's like twice the price now, isn't it?
It's really expensive. I mean, I'll give you an example. If you just go to dinner at one of their sit-down restaurants with the family, it was every bit of $450.
Wow.
Just to go eat at an amusement park. But we're not just talking about a fast food place, though.
No.
Fine dining in these places now. And
well, how about if you want to get one of the princesses or one of the characters to have dinner, or Cinderella or whatever? My daughter did that, and my God, the bill when she got done to just have that other person join you for either tea, because you could do tea, you could do lunch, or you could do dinner. So she said, "Well, let's just do dinner. How much more could it be?" Well, it was a lot, And
we've done the dinner thing. They have a breakfast brunch thing. That's in the castle, and believe me, you have to sign up for that a couple months in advance, if not a half a year in advance.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also have, I think it's called the Crystal Palace or Crystal Restaurant, that they have a character dinner there. And that place was a little more reasonable, but not much. And just the price of the tickets now. And then if you do it a special event, like sometimes we do the Halloween, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween, you have to pay for a regular ticket. And then if you want to partake in the Halloween party, which is, I think, from like 5 to midnight or something, it's an extra fee for each family member.
Wow.
So you could be paying close to, I don't know, $1,000 a person almost, Or what is it? $1,000 for 3 each.
It really? Is it, no kidding. Yeah. Yeah, I know it was expensive when she went and she had the dinner. It was dinner with the princess. I don't know if it was Cinderella or not, but it was dinner with the princess, and it was a huge stiff bill. But you know what? Most people don't go as often as you do once a year. You go every couple of 3-5 years. It's a treat. Just save up for it. You work real hard. Why shouldn't you spend it on your family? I mean, and we talked about you with your family, which is what I've always had a high regard for you, Rick, is because you are that family man. You take that time, to be with your family. You're on the road a lot. No one can deny that. But still, being on the road, sometimes you can bring them, sometimes you can't. But the fact is, you make time and be with your family. And I've always admired that. And, I think that's what you have to do. I mean, otherwise, what are you working for?
Yeah, that's for sure. And it goes quickly. I mean, I've got 3 other kids by marriage that, they came into my life when they were like, 9, 7, and 5 or 6. And, now they're 17, almost 19, and then 21 now.
Wow.
So,
what a difference, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always say with the kids, you kind of lose them at about, when I say lose them, they know more than all of us. At about that 16, 17 mark, you can't say nothing. You can't explain a thing to them that's going to make sense. And then at or about 20, 21, then they start realizing that, what, that old guy makes some sense to what he's saying. Oh, my mom knows what she's talking about on this or that. But, we all went through it. But it's neat to watch sometimes, isn't it? Isn't it? Not, you had the girls at 9, 7, and 6. Were they all 3 girls?
No, actually, 2 of them are boys.
Okay.
The younger ones of the kids by marriage are Justin and Christian. Justin is a senior in high school.
Wow.
And Christian is, right now, he's studying criminal justice. He wants to be a police officer. Talk about first responders.
Yeah.
And our older daughter at first wanted to go into the arts. She went to the same college as me, the American Academy of Art in Chicago.
Yeah.
And they suddenly closed after over 100 years just last year. And now she's talking about being a X-ray technician now.
Well, that's a good job. X-ray I mean, it's a different job. There's a good friend of mine, Rita, and she calls him periodically. In fact, she called when you were doing one of the shows, complimented you on your sound. And she was into that, X-ray tech, but that was several years ago, and it's changed dramatically. And there's no more film. Everything is just computer,
Sure.
It's just the changes that I've seen from when I was involved, with the medical side on the fire. I was paramedic trained. It's night and day what's out there now. So, like, hey, you know what? We're getting to the top of the hour over here. I can't believe it. Yeah, we got about another minute here. Just want to make sure I want to make sure that we tell everybody again tonight. You want to see Rick? You get yourself over to in Itasca, Eaglewood, and that's right, 1501 Nordic Road. Can't miss it. Right off of Lake Street.
Yeah, 1401 Nordic Road tonight, 7 to 10, Eaglewood Resort. Rick Leaney, the Wild Ones, but of course tomorrow the big show at the First Responders Fest in Hampshire.
Yeah, looking forward to a good show because I think we're going to hold the rain off. We got a lot of prayers out there, my man. So,
thank you again for having me as a guest and having us do the First Responders Fest tomorrow. We look forward to it. And again, if you want to see our website, it's thewildonesband.net.
Sounds great. Or go to his Facebook page. You can also see him on there as well. So, thank you very much, Rick. We are going to say goodbye to you for right now, and we will see you tomorrow at the American First Responders Fest. All right, man.
God bless.
God bless. Thanks for calling.
Party poopers got you down? Shake it off and join me, Dennis Sonar Green, every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. on WRMN for a political talk show, where we cut through the doom and gloom with a focus on America first, constitutional values, and a populist perspective that puts you, the citizen, at the center of the conversation. At WRMN, the talk of the town, we're not afraid to challenge the status quo and bring you the straight talk you need. Whether you're frustrated with the political establishment or looking for a clear, some nonsense analysis, this show has you covered. Tune in. Let's take on the issues together with a fresh, unfiltered approach. Catch us every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m. on WRMN, a political talk show. WRMN, the talk of the town.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 3 o'clock.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Sky Rizzi. A protest drew dozens to the District 300 Administration Building Wednesday as some parents are calling on School Board President Nancy Zettler to step down following a social media post she shared regarding Charlie Kirk's death. The post read, quote, "The first thing I thought of when I heard this today was karma is an expletive. Then I read this." She then posted a quote from Qasim Rashid, which centered around the need for empathy following Kirk's assassination. Parents within District 300 said Zettler's post was insensitive. Around 60 people gathered outside the D300 Administration Building in Algonquin on Monday morning, as well as the intersection of Harnish and Randall Roads to protest. Batavia officers were dispatched to a report of a burglary in progress just before 9:45 p.m. Monday at All the Smoke on West Wilson Street. Police said officers discovered evidence of forced entry through the front door, but no suspects were at the scene. Officials are still working to determine what was stolen. An investigation into the incident is ongoing, and no charges have been filed. Anyone with information is asked to contact Batavia Police at 630-454-2500. This week, the Wheaton City Council voted against a zoning amendment request to allow a domestic animal lounge at 923 Roosevelt Road. The petitioners, Candle of Hope, were aiming to build a cat lounge that would provide housing and play areas for cats and allow visitors to interact with the cats. The council voted 6-1 against the resolution. Councilmember Scott Brown raised concerns that the zoning amendment did not line up with plans the City Council had discussed for the Roosevelt Road corridor. The Federal Reserve cut its key interest rate by 1/4 point Wednesday and projected it would do so twice more this year. The move is the Fed's first cut since December, and it lowered its short-term rate to about 4.1%, down from 4.3%. Before the meeting, investors on Wall Street had projected 5 cuts for the rest of this year and next. Fed officials submit their forecasts of future rate moves anonymously. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
My doctor told me my cholesterol is borderline, so I took control with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula. Garlic helps maintain healthy cholesterol safely and naturally. It's odor and taste free, and Garlic is a world leader in garlic potency. I'm taking charge of my cholesterol with Garlic Healthy Cholesterol Formula, cholesterol's natural enemy.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. The term natural references only the garlic in the product. Use as directed.
When you bundle renters and auto with Progressive, you can save while protecting your most valuable possessions, like your priceless vinyl collection. Sure, you sleep on a futon because the money most people would have spent on a bed you spent on more records. But forget the fact that you can stream just about any song ever created for a few dollars a month. No, you need to listen to music in the most difficult way possible. So go ahead and get Progressive so you can save while protecting the things that matter to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Sky Rizzi. This week, the Wheaton City Council voted against a zoning amendment request to allow a domestic animal lounge at 923 Roosevelt Road. The petitioners, Candle of Hope, were aiming to build a cat lounge that would provide housing and play areas for cats and allow visitors to interact with the cats. The council voted 6-1 against the resolution. Councilmember Scott Brown raised concerns that the zoning amendment did not line up with plans the City Council had discussed for the Roosevelt Road corridor. The Federal Reserve cut its key interest rate by 1/4 point Wednesday and projected it would do so twice more this year. The move is the Fed's first cut since December, and it lowered its short-term rate to about 4.1%, down from 4.3%. Before the meeting, investors on Wall Street had projected 5 cuts for the rest of this year and next. Fed officials submit their forecasts of future rate moves anonymously. A protest drew dozens to the District 300 Administration Building Wednesday as some parents are calling on School Board President Nancy Zettler to step down following a social media post
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. This afternoon, partly sunny with a high near 86, temperatures falling to around 83. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low around 64. Rain likely with new rainfall amounts possible. Tomorrow, a chance of showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a high near 79. Currently, it is 86 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
The Chicago Bears, the Dallas Cowboys. Join us this week for more than 7 hours of Bears coverage live from Soldier Field. We start with Bears Network pregame at 1, followed by Jeff Joniak, Tom Thayer, and Jason McKee with a play-by-play at 3:30. Bears and Cowboys, Sunday at 1 on the Chicago Bears Radio Network.
Brought to you in part by Vasselli Law. JMVChicagoLaw.com. Able, available, affable, Vasselli Law.
The new novel, titled DUI Jury Trial, is the true story of two lawyers who defend a truck driver who is charged with DUI. If he's convicted, this truck driver faces a lifetime disqualification of his commercial driver's license, which would prevent him from ever driving a truck again. This 3-year legal battle culminates in a courtroom showdown, which involves the testimony of a DUI expert witness. This book, DUI Jury Trial, is now available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
Dino's Night Out on WRMN. It's the talk of the town, so come on and listen now. It's Dino's Night Out on WRMN 1410. On WRMN, it's the talk of the town, so come on and listen now. It's Dino's Night Out on WRMN 1410.
Hey, and we are back. Dino's Night Out. Right here on WRMN 1410 and YouTube Live, 1410 AM. So you heard us on the stick, and you should be watching us on the YouTube. I got a wonderful musical guest in the studio, and we are going to say hello to him right now. Say hello to everybody. Tim, you're not...
How you been, Dino?
I'm doing great. So glad you're here today.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Yep, and Tim is going to have a partner with him on Saturday at America's First Responders Fest. And Tim is with Joe is his name. And when he performs with another guy or another actor, however you want to put it, he's going to be Canyon Arrow Light. And that's, of course, featuring our guy, Tim, right over here, Tim Logson, and Joe. And Joe is Bushbacher. Yeah, say that a couple times real fast, 3 times.
But especially if you're drinking, huh?
Yeah, there you go. Okay. But, yeah, we have Tim in the studio live. He's been here before. And actually, a lot of people have requested for him to come back. We had Rick in the studio. And like I say, I know you could adjust these things up, but you're in a studio that's made for just voice broadcasting. And to hear him sound the way he sounds, because I've played the show back on several different occasions, and I tell you, it's awesome. I mean, when you hear it on, I was like, wow, that does sound pretty good.
Well, I appreciate that.
No problem at all. I mean, it's you do a great job. You really and truly do. And
we got this first responders thing tomorrow, right?
We're going to have a good time. You're our closer.
All right on.
So you're going to have all the energy. What kind of music you going to play?
You know, it's yacht rock. They got hat on now, so like
I saw
the
the
character here, right?
Got to get ready for it.
Indeed. But it's sort of like light rock from the '70s. There's some more upbeat stuff too. You know, we do Midnight Special and Rich Girl and some stuff like that. That's pretty upbeat as well. But a lot of it is smooth rock, yacht rock genre. So.
And rain or shine is not going to scare you as long as you don't have lightning, right?
No, it doesn't scare me.
Yeah, we got a canopy over the top.
Oh, very nice.
It's it's going to be a great stage. It's going to be a perfect venue. Hampshire has been so welcoming to us. It's great. I'm just so looking forward to the fest tomorrow between 1 to 6, everybody. And the bands are nice. Don't get me wrong. And it's not like I'm downplaying in any way. But the real star of the show is our first responders. Definitely. We don't want to diminish or for a moment take lightly what they do and what they represent. Our veterans giving us all of our freedoms that we possess and that we are afforded by their work, by their serving, and of course police, fire, our EMS, journalists even. They're out in the front line. When there's something going on, you've got a guy that's a journalist that's reporting and telling you what's happening. When you got roofs flying off for tornadoes, who do we have? We have public works people out there. So first responders makes up so many people, dispatchers. So many more people than we say, the police and fire again. No, it's not the police and fire. They all work together, which is nice. And they all respect what each other does,
They definitely do. And I think we don't realize, like, some of the things these people go through. I know I've talked to Joe before. He has some trauma, from some things that have happened. I don't want to mention any of it, but
there's a lot of things you see, Tim.
Yeah.
When you're on the job, I mean, I could list one right after the other, the ones I was at, but it's sometimes it scars you forever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
And that's why one of the groups that we have that we're sponsoring and we're trying to support, like for our military, we've got the K-9 for Veterans, and that's a wonderful organization. And what they do is they provide the service dogs, to the veteran, no matter what they're going through.
Very nice. Very nice.
For the mental health, basically, PTSD especially. That's a huge thing with our military. And then we have Illinois Peer Support Team, and they're another group that if you go through a scene that's a little heavy, too-much tragedy type thing, and although it's not directly related to you, you were there, so you have someone to talk to. In Illinois Peer Support, they do police and fire, and they're your go-to. So we're supporting them with a little donation, and we're also giving one to True Patriots Care. And this gentleman, Mr. Christofferson, I believe he's 70 years old, and he's the guy that puts those flags up along the path of the procession for a veteran, and he's now upgraded it to all first responders. So, I mean, this guy tirelessly works. He also does the wreaths across America, which me with the Knights of Columbus, I'm what they call the navigator guy now for the 4th degree. And that's the patriotic arm of the Knights of Columbus.
Oh, wow.
And we do those same events. We not only honor a fallen knight or if we're called, for any other event, but we do the wreaths across America as well. It's really nice. Every wreath, every service man or woman should be honored, especially at the holiday time, with that wreath, feeling the warmth that they're being covered with that greenery, but the warmth from all of us to share to them. Indeed. So it's a lot. It's a lot that they go through. But we're looking for a great festival. When you said you would do this, Tim, I was just so excited. And then you said, Joe, hey, he's a fireman too. Yeah. What perfect, where's he a firefighter at?
He is Huntley. He's actually a fire chief.
No kidding?
Point. Yeah.
I'll be a son of a gun. We got the chief.
Yep, he does inspections and,
nice
blueprints and whatnot like that. I think he still has calls too, but not as much as
that's okay
in his younger days, But in his younger days, he definitely worked his way up that chain,
Yeah. Wow, that's wonderful.
Doing his thing. I'm real proud to be Joe's friend.
Yeah. Well, you talk highly of him, and I got a high regard for you, Tim, so I'll go along with you on that. So how about a little something? You want to play a song or two? What do you got?
Why don't I do you a yacht rock song? This is Seals and Croft, I think it is.
Okay.
Summer Breeze.
Okay.
And usually, a lot of times we have a girl that comes sings with us sometimes too. Her name's Debbie. We affectionately call her Debbie Sparkles. But her real name is Deb Rockensack. And she sometimes sings this one, but I'm going to sing it today.
Beautiful.
See the curtains hanging in the window in the evening on a Friday night. A little light shining through the window lets me know everything's alright. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, rolling through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. See the paper lying in the sidewalk, a little music from the house next door. So I walk up onto the doorstep, through the screen and across the floor. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Sweet summer, the jasmine's in bloom. July is dressed up and playing her tune. And I come home from a hard day's work, and you're waiting there without a care in the world. See a smile waiting in the kitchen, through cooking and the plates for two. Feel the arms that reach out to hold me in the evening when the day is through. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
That was pretty slick. You know, it's, to me, it would seem to be very difficult because you hit some, like you were concentrating on hitting those certain notes over there, and to be able to sing along with it at the same time, I got to tell you, and that's really something.
You know what's interesting is like there's different styles of music, and I play in several different bands. I do some country, some '90s stuff, some 2000s, and the older stuff.
Sure.
And the guitar riffs are different when you go from one genre to the other. So even though I've been playing a long time, it's challenging sometimes to get those notes because it's you're not playing the same thing over and over again.
And plus, you're all by yourself in here. You don't have, there's no accompaniment, nothing. And I'm telling you, you sounded awesome.
Thank you. I used to say I hated
back
that.
the show.
I used to say I hated that because it's all me, and you're just up there, but I've gotten kind of used to it now.
I think you got that good confidence. You got it.
Well, thank you.
You could do it.
Sure.
So that's some of the songs that they're going to hear at least anyhow.
Oh yeah,
huh?
definitely.
Nice.
So yeah, I'd like to invite everybody too. Once the first responders event is done, we're having an after party over at, you guys know Susie.
Let me guess, Newman's.
Over at Newman's, yeah.
There you go.
So the after party is from 8 to 11 or 8:30 to 11:30, depending on how quickly I can get all set up after doing the first responders,
We'll get you out of it.
So that'll be fun, and that's a good time. And I hope everybody comes out. You guys got food down there too, right?
There's going to be all kinds of food out there. The community is opened up.
Oh,
so they're participating with different special deals. We're going to have a food truck on the site because we're expecting a lot of people.
Sure.
And we don't want people to have to wait in too many lines and variety. Variety is the spice of life. So, we're going to have enough things that are going to switch everything up real nice. I guess one of our big attractions is Zambetti is going to be there. Guy Zambetti or Zamboni as Mike Reed calls him, from Gilbert's. He's Gilbert's village president, mayor. It's all the same thing to me. Sure. And Mike Reed, mayor. They're going to do the old pie in the face with each other.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Everyone's going to love that. So I'm going to spend a few bucks on it myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a nice attraction. A lot of people will be able to, get a little closer, get a chance to talk with them. And then, you know what? Give them a nice surprise. Wacko with a nice pie in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always fun to have a little bit of fun with things.
You have to have a little bit, right? You have a mixture.
Sure.
And if it rains, it'll wash right off their face. But I'm not anticipating any rain. I think we're going to have a great day.
Yeah.
I mean, we have some in between, but looking at the radars and everything, I'm seeing a nice day. I think it's going to rain long before 1 o'clock, like about 6, 7 in the morning. Sure. And then it's going to go away because there's other events going on.
Yeah.
So I hope it doesn't wash anybody else's out.
Thankfully, we still have nice warm weather, too, so it's been beautiful.
So they're talking 80 degrees tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
It's
summer.
I mean, right? So, hope not too much moisture because then that means the humidity is going to come in.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be great. But, I mean, we've got a great lineup. And like I say, I've never heard Joe. I'm looking forward to hearing the two of you together.
Yeah, it's real nice. He throws in some harmonies and then also playing the bass guitar, so it kind of fills things up a little bit better.
Yeah.
And Deacon Frost, right? Is it one of the acts?
They were going to be, but you know what? We got to send a few prayers out there for our guy because he's got some news and he can make his own announcement on it, but he was unable to do our show. He's typically All-American, America First Responder Fest. I told him, I says, my commitment to you, man, is, you're first. You always be our opener.
Well, we're certainly praying for him.
Yeah.
And I've heard nothing but good things.
He's a great act.
Yeah, that's
Terry's
that's
a great
I've heard.
man. His son plays with him on the drums. So, yeah, they're well put together with everybody that they have.
We're
maybe we'll
we
get
can
him
catch
to come on out.
soon.
Yeah, maybe he can come on out.
Sure.
I've extended an invitation to him in the beginning. Say, hey, just come on, chill, and relax. Sure. You don't have to always perform.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So who do you got first?
The first up is going to be Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones.
Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones. Oh,
and then we got
very
Mixed Company Band.
Oh, very
And you're going to like them. They're more of a rhythm and blues and
Very
just kind of a mixture, outdoor, festival type music.
Great to mix it up.
Right?
That's the best way.
What Rick has, his complement of that jitterbug type style is going to be awesome. And anything that you play. And now what I'm hearing again, this song you didn't play last time you were here.
Yeah,
I like that.
I got a lot of them.
Yeah.
I'm hoping not to play any of them from last time.
It's okay. People love to hear it. I love to hear it. Especially.
I can tell you though, you're a great guy for putting this whole thing on, and all the work to put into it, and
it's not me, it's we. There's a lot of people behind the scenes that are doing all the works. I mean, just our crew here with Dennis and Matt. I mean, without Matt, we're shot. We're done for.
Well,
and David Tees has been helping out. But Derek's been a lot of people behind this.
Oh, yeah.
All of our crew, our morning guys, Dalton, Mike Napolitano. But we got a lot of people that are going to be showing up. Susie and Elliot,
Susie,
our morning show, WRMN morning show is really taking a transition, and it's really something if you haven't heard it.
Yeah,
and you'll like it. Yeah, tune into it in the morning.
Susie's
it wakes you
wild.
up.
I've known Susie for 20 years almost now. She's a card. I love her. We used to do a little thing in the COVID era where we got
in the coat room area.
In the COVID.
The COVID.
No,
okay.
not in the coat room. No.
I'm only playing.
Susie was doing when her bar was closed, she would do from her home. She would do bingo.
Yeah, wasn't that neat? I heard about that.
Yeah, and then I would do shot time with Tim on Friday nights.
Cool.
And we crossed in that a couple times. So she was a lot of fun though. Always a lot of fun.
You know what? COVID
still is.
COVID was, yes, she is. COVID was a very, very difficult time.
Definitely was.
And the people that found a way to take the negativity, I guess we'll call it, and the tragedy of the situation, because so many people lost their lives during that time.
Oh yeah.
And I was the it's called the Grand Night at the time for 3 years in a row, and I had it during COVID time. So like right now this weekend, everybody, it's the Intellectual Disabilities Drive. So when you go to the bank and you're cashing your check, put a couple extra singles in there. So when you go to the street corners, not in Elgin, but other towns, they allow them at the street corners, and they're collecting for a great cause, intellectual disabilities.
I didn't know what that was. I saw him on the way in.
Yeah.
And I have to hit him on the way back out.
Yeah, they call it the Tootsie Roll Drive.
Yeah.
But it's it truly is. It helps those with Down syndrome, autism, and what have you. A lot of good organizations out there that the money's collected.
Yeah, beautiful people too.
Yeah.
Persons with disabilities. I did a little work with the disabilities when I was younger, and it was. I was in the mental health side, and it was really challenging because it's hard to see people, and then you think they're doing
You almost feel helpless. What are you going to do?
Yeah, they're doing so well, and then all of a sudden they just crash, and it's like,
Sure.
boy, it's so discouraging.
Yeah.
But I'm thankful that I was part of it for the time I was.
Yeah, and there again, there's the caregivers sometimes.
Yeah.
We forget about the caregivers, going back to like maybe not necessarily first responders, but in a side shift of a way it can be. We always think, the caregiver's got it. The caregiver, that caregiver is going through everything that the individual is.
That's right.
In more direction and more helping, but you have those emotional times too.
Yeah, you do that because you love people,
course you do.
and you want to help, and you're thinking I'm helping and I'm doing a great job, and then you're invested in this person, and it's through no fault of their own. They just get sick, and it's a awful thing, but but there's a lot of joy with them too.
And there's a lot of help. We did a radio show.
Oh,
in fact, when you couldn't be out hustling for the Tootsie Rolls, so we did a show right here in the station.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a couple of years in a row we did it. 3, I think. Yeah. So how about one number before we go to a hard break at the bottom of the hour?
Sure.
And if the music starts, I'll put it down. We'll play you out. We'll stay on the YouTube side.
I'm going to do this one. This one isn't necessarily a yacht rock song, but I get good comments about it, so I think.
Yeah. Already sounds good. Little harmonica.
Brought a new toy too.
There you are. Nice job.
It'll be fine, my dust, that I'm telling you, babe. These things eat at your bones and drive your young mind crazy. But when you place your head between my collar and my jaw, I don't know much, but there's no weight at all. And I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if I don't. 'Cause when I say I miss you, I know that you won't. But I miss you in the morning when I see the sun. Something in the orange tells me we're not done. I'm just a man, to me you're all a man. Where the hell am I supposed to go? Poison myself against something in the orange tells me you're never coming home. You leave today, I'll just stare at way that the orange touches
Listen
all.
to WRMN 1410 AM and on the
Grass,
YouTube
trees, and
dial.
blue, and how I
We're going
just
to be
hate
back
you.
after a few short moments, but those of you on the YouTube, you're still going to be able to hear this beautiful song by Tim Longson. Going to be at the America First Responders Fest this coming Saturday.
I need to hear you say you've been waiting all night. 'Cause orange dances in your eyes from boy light. But your voice only trembles when you try to speak. Take me back to us dancing in this wood used to creak. To you I'm just a man, to me you're all I am. Where the hell am I supposed to go? Poison myself against something in the orange tells me you're never coming home. If you leave today, I'll just stare at the way that the orange pushes all things around. The grass, trees, and dew, and how I just hate you. Please turn those headlights around. To you, I'm just a man. To me, you're all I am. Where the hell am I supposed to go? Poison myself again. Something in the orange tells me you're never coming home. If you leave today, I'll just stare at the way that the orange touches all things around. Grass, trees, and dew, and how I just hate you. Please turn those headlights around. Please turn those headlights around. Please turn those headlights around.
There you go. That was Tim Longson, everybody. You're going to be hearing him live tomorrow at America First Responders Fest right in downtown Hampshire. Hey, listen, we're going to be back in just a little bit. If you're watching on the YouTube, you got a little extra treat because everybody else on the antenna is getting the commercials. So we'll be back in just a little bit.
Very nice.
There we go.
Game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to handle the busy holiday season, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Are you dreaming of a getaway? Want to leave the stress of daily life behind? Whether it's a relaxing cruise or an adventurous land escape, planning the perfect vacation doesn't have to be a hassle. At Cruises International, they specialize in vacation destinations, land and sea, making your dreams come true. Located at 1721 Moon Lake Boulevard in Hoffman Estates, Cruises International isn't just about booking travel. They're your personal concierge, trusted travel advisor, and advocate. Your preferences are unique, and they'll take the time to understand exactly what you're looking for. From personalized service to their global network of specialists, they ensure that your vacation is tailor-made just for you. It's time to plan the vacation of a lifetime. Call 800-255-7447. That's 800-255-7447 today and speak to a cruise and vacation expert. Cruises International. It's time to set sail to your dream destination.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. This afternoon, mostly cloudy with a high near 86, temperatures falling to around 83. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms before 5 a.m., then scattered showers and thunderstorms. Mostly cloudy with a low around 64. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high near 79. Currently, it is 84 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So my sandwich shop was opening in a week, and I needed signage.
A week is plenty of time to panic.
I went to Staples. They printed banners, posters, and flyers to promote my grand opening.
All in time for your grand closing.
Nope, I had it same day. I even got $125 off my order.
Hold the onions. For all your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. In-store and online, same day if ordered by 12 p.m. Into 11/1. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Dino's Night Out on WRMN. It's the talk of the town, so come on and listen now. It's Dino's Night Out on WRMN 1410.
Hey, and we are back with another great performance in studio right here, WRMN 1410 AM and on the YouTube channel. We've got Tim Longson inside the studio with us today. We had Rick Lindy, who represents the Wild Ones. He was on the air giving a little conversation. And we got a phone call coming in, and I bet that's going to be Terrell with the Mixed Company. They all said they wanted to call in, so hold on just a minute. Hey, go ahead, caller. Who do we got on the line?
Yes, sir. This is Terrell Carter.
Hey.
For Mixed Company Band.
How you doing, Terrell?
I'm doing great, man. It's good to be alive and getting all God's glory.
Beautiful. I'm so looking forward to you being there tomorrow with all of us together. It's going to be a great show. It's going to be an absolute great show. And I'm going to introduce you right now. I'm going to switch the camera. I don't know if you're watching or not watching, but this is one part of the two-part group that will be playing Canyon Arrow Light featuring Tim and Joe. Well, we got Tim in the studio. You can say hi if you want, Tim.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello. Hey, how you doing, Tim?
Doing good, good. Can't wait to see you guys.
Good. Oh yeah, can't wait to see you guys.
Yeah, we got quite a mix, I would say, for tomorrow. I mean, we really do. And I'm just so looking forward to it. We have a nice covered stage, so everybody don't be scared. That's why I put on there rain or shine, because these are professionals. They are going to play no matter what, and they love to play. They love to see the smiles on everyone's face. How about it?
That's right. Bring your ponchos.
Yes.
There you go.
That's it. That's right.
So what time is our practice tonight, Terrell? What time did you want me there? 5?
Yeah, 5 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, right next to Dave Tease's house.
Yeah,
I got
that's
it.
right.
All right, my man. Listen, I appreciate you calling in. That's very nice. Are you excited about tomorrow's show?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
How many people you have going to be in your band tomorrow?
8.
8 people. It's like an orchestra.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Wow. I can't wait to hear them sounds.
And most of my band are all first responders in their own rights.
Oh, there you go. Well, we'll have opportunity to meet your band as we I'll certainly introduce everybody. But that's wonderful. And I just found out he's a chief. Joe, which is the other part to Tim and Joe for the Canyon Arrow, he's a chief over in Huntley Fire Department. What do you think of that?
Okay.
So we got some credibility on this stage.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Terrell. Look it, brother. Looking forward to seeing you, and don't strain. Don't go ruining those pipes.
No problem. We will be there in living color.
All right. Love it. We'll see you soon. Thanks, Terrell.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. And nice meeting you, Tim.
Oh, it was good to meet you too. What do you guys play? You play some funk music, or you?
No.
We play. Yeah. We play funk, blues, R&B, smooth jazz, and a little bit of reggae.
Right on, man. I'm looking forward to that for sure. That's right up my alley.
Tim said he's going to get there a little early. He's going to sit in with you guys if you don't mind.
Hey, the more the merrier.
Yeah, there you go. All right, brother. We'll see you then tomorrow.
Good.
Thanks.
Good to meet
Thanks,
you, sir.
Jarrell.
All right, no problem.
Take care.
Yeah, he's a great guy, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you just talked to him for a few minutes.
Oh, yeah.
But when he came in here, I am going to tell you, just as chill could be.
Yeah.
You know, and he was playing playing the bongo. I guess you don't call it a bongo. The one with a taper is called something different.
What, a cajon, maybe? Is it the box drum?
No.
With a taper, that's a, what is that? Djembe.
It could be. But whatever it was, the sounds that came out of there was awesome. Yeah. I have to tell you. I really have to tell you. But hey, everybody, Dino's Night Out is brought to you by the Arcada Theater, Ron Onesti, Oshows.com. They're located in Des Plaines, and they're also in St. Charles. So remember our friend Ron. He's not only supporting our station through many different events, he'll also be a sponsor of tomorrow's America's First Responders. So we got some great people behind us. We got some great entertainers, and I'm hoping for a great crowd, and I think we will. I know individually everybody has been promoting on their Facebook and social medias. I didn't talk to Joe, but I'm sure, Tim, you talked to him and put it out. And then, hey, you know what? There's going to be an after party at Newman's, and that's at Route 20 and State Street, right on the corner. You can't miss it. You drive by, you first say, that's a gas station. Well, that's the other side. So you want to go there, and that goes from 8 to 11:30. So the party doesn't have to stop when we stop. It can keep going on right over there in Newman's in Hampshire, Route 20 and State Street.
We're going to have a good time, too.
Absolutely.
That's going to be a real wide mix of music. I got 3 different bands, so just so happens that Joe's going to go back over with me. So we're going to do some 90s. We're going to do some classic rock, a little country, you know, the little yacht rock, a little bit of everything. Just mix it all up.
Beautiful. So how about a song? What do you think?
Sure.
What do you want to play?
I'm going to do a song by Jerry Rafferty.
You know I need your love. You've got that hold over me. As long as I got your love, you know that I'll never leave. When I wanted you to share my life, I had no doubt in my mind that it was you, woman, right down the line. You know how much I lean on you, only you can see the changes that I've been through that left a mark on me. Been as constant as the northern star, the brightest light that shines. And it was you, woman, right down the line. Just wanna say this is my way, telling you everything I could never say before. Yeah, this is my way, telling you every day I'm loving you so much more. 'Cause you believed in me through my darkest night. Put something better inside of me, took me into the light. I threw away all those crazy dreams, put them all behind. And it was you, woman, right down the line. Just wanna say this is my way, telling you everything I could never say before. Yeah, this is my way, telling you every day I'm loving you so much more. If I should doubt myself if I'm losing ground. I won't turn to someone else, they'd only let me down. When I wanted you to share my life, had no doubt in my mind. It's been you, woman, right down the line. It's been you, woman, right down the line.
Yeah. That was good. That was real good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's some of that yacht rock genre, you know.
That's okay. Mix it up, man. That's what this is going to be. This is going to be one heck of a party. It is going to be a mixture from, I'm telling you, he may even throw a little rockabilly in there.
Oh, yeah.
Lindy.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he's going to have a song like that.
A little John Cash.
Oh, he's good.
You know.
He's good. He knows how to get. He knows how to see the crowd and see what they want, and he gives it to them. I know you're the same way.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I'll give it a try.
And mixed company, let me tell you, you can't help but. Hopefully, they're going to play a little stepping music. You know.
Oh yeah.
I love that, and that's some good stuff. So, I mean, since the last time you were here, it hasn't been that long. It's been like what, 3 months or so?
Something like that.
Give or take.
Couple 3 months.
Do you have any exciting venues that you're at, or anything exciting that happened?
I think the next week we're actually playing at Huntley Fall Fest. That's the 90s band, Polly Says, a 90s experience.
Okay.
Joe and a guy named Eric Grisco on the drums. He's going to be playing drums for us for the after party, too. So he's a fun guy. And then.
And that's what date? That's next Saturday?
Next Saturday is
Okay.
26th, right?
I think it's is it 6th or 7th? I think probably 27th.
27th.
Yeah, has to be.
And then the 28th on Sunday, we're back at Cougars with the Couch Coins, which is and we'll be outside, weather permitting there. That's a real nice venue. She's got a great big outdoor patio in the back. And
Yep,
that's Jamie Fry, my friend.
Is that
Jamie and Ed Fry, they're
Cougars?
the owners there.
Yeah.
And Jamie also sings, so she's going to come up and do a set with us. She used to be the singer for the Couch Coins back in the day. So
no kidding.
Whenever we get over there, you know, she jumps up and does some of this. She's a little into Ron
That's nice,
Staff,
isn't it?
you know.
That's nice to have everybody jump up and do a little piece.
She really adds a lot, you know. I mean, I tried to get her in the yacht rock band, but she was too busy with the bar to do it, you know. So
Yeah. That's a lot of work.
Another gentleman for a little while, but he was too busy with family. So, good Christian man, you know. And he's like, hey, I can't take more time away from my family than what I already have. So.
Yeah. And you got to make time for family. And
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I know we've talked about that, and I know you do. And that's very, very important. I mean, even this here.
And
this
oddly
is
enough, I've
24
got
hours.
a gig in Missouri down by my dad's house. I'm going down to see my dad.
There you go.
He's 94, and he lives
Wow,
in
94. God bless.
94. He was riding his Harley up until last year.
How neat is that?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So like I'm down at an AmVets down there by him. So that's the first time I played down that way. So hoping to be able to book some stuff while I'm down that way and mix a little business with pleasure, you know. And maybe I can get some stuff down in Galveston, Texas too, and go see the other kids.
Hey, make it a full circuit, right?
Yeah,
and get the
nice.
whole circle going.
Yeah, it'd be nice to line them up and just go down and head over.
One by one. All right, well, listen, how about you're all by yourself? We know that. What song do you feel like when you really want to play a good number that you could play with no accompaniments, just you? What's one of your favorite songs like that you like to play that way?
Just me. I usually just kind of pull requests out of the air, but I like there's a song by and I might screw this up, but it's a fun song. The Beatles, Blackbird.
Oh, I know. Yes. This is difficult to really play, though.
It is.
I'm shocked you picked that. Yeah.
So don't shoot me if I don't.
Yeah, don't worry. I got music we could play over. Don't worry.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you've only waited for this moment to arrive. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life, you've only waited for this moment to be free. Blackbird, fly. Blackbird, fly into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird, fly. Blackbird, fly into the light of a dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life, you've only waited for this moment to arrive. You've only waited for this moment to arrive. You have only waited for this moment to arrive.
Now, how can you say you messed that up? There was nothing messed up about that. Although the whistle and that could have been maybe a robin. I don't know if that was an actual Blackbird call or not. But
you know what's funny is he does that on the guitar. Like I can't do it on the guitar because I'm playing the other parts, but it's like.
Oh, that's how he makes the sound. Oh.
Yeah, very interesting. You know, the Beatles branching out there.
Oh my God, they such innovations.
Oh, yeah.
To their music, what they would do, it's short of just amazing what they were able to accomplish. That's why they are who they are, and why still to this day people talk about the Beatles. I mean, so many people got their start and their inspiration.
You know, I love a Revolver. Like that thing is like just beginning to end. And it's kind of cohesive, too. You know, there's a couple that are little pop ditties sort of things in there, but it's basically a cohesive album of sort of heavier rock from them that's really interesting. And I think Taxman's on there.
Yeah.
Some of the cool stuff, you know. So that's one of my faves. But, yeah, all their albums are great. You know.
Yeah, I mean, and again, you talk about one feeling to another, to a different style.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I mean, the scope, the spectrum that they encompass is just
heck yeah.
It blows your mind. How about Fool on the Hill? Another good song they sing.
Beautiful song.
And I think the shortest record recorded, I don't know if it's just the Beatles, is Do You Want to Know a Secret?
Oh.
I think that's the shortest.
Why don't we do it in the road's pretty short too?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a short little song.
Yeah.
But cute as hell, ain't it?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's they got some great stuff. Well, I tell you what, you put on just a dynamite show. I'm just so looking forward to the festival because you know what, it puts people in a different feeling. They hear your music, and they're, you know what I mean. I think, and we're trying to make that nice, comfortable setting. And again, we've done it, and we've asked, and we've sent to each of the police, fire departments, and the Fox River Valley and beyond. And, you know, I don't know how else I can tell you. We want you, first responders, to please come out. Let us show the proper acknowledgement to all that you do. We are so proud of what you do. How else can we do it? Let's have a party. So, again, we want you, first responders, come to our fest, and it'll be all of our fest. Get to know everybody. We want people to get to know you. And that's all we're asking for. So please, be our guest. America's First Responders Fest from 1 to 6 this Saturday. It is the 20th, and it is downtown Hampshire. You can't miss it. It's right on State Street. right down the block from City Hall. So, it is. It's going to be really, I think, a beautiful atmosphere, beautiful setting. I can't think of anything, but in the street like that. They closed down State Street, and your
Very
stage
nice.
is going to be right on that little angle over there.
Wow, State Street. Holy cow.
Yeah.
They was asking me, I told a couple people, I'd say it's in the downtown. And they're like, where at in the downtown? I'm like, I just go downtown. You'll see it, But I didn't
Yeah.
realize they were shutting down. It's like, it's nice places there. Copper Barrel restaurant.
Oh, it's right.
It's very nice.
That's right outside the door.
And they got the
Where the
doors
stage
open
is.
on it, so you
Yes.
could still hear the festival and everything, and sit down and have a nice dinner if you want to do that.
They got that brisket over there, out of this world. Yeah, I was down, and I tell you, I got a shout out to Mayor Mike Reed for making it happen, and Jay. I tell you, Jay, they just named a street, part of the street after him. He's retiring as city manager, and he has made quite a difference in that community, and them working together. And again, Mike is the same way, and
Sure.
he likes to be Mike, not the mayor, just like me. I'm just Dean, and it's we, not me. And Mike has a way of doing that same thing, surrounds himself around great people. They got a great fire protection district there. Police chief's an awesome guy. Public Works, see, we had a meeting where you have to sit with all of them. Jay put everything together very nicely. In fact, Jeannie from the Hampshire Area Chamber of Commerce was part of our meeting. So the idea is everybody gets involved in this and everybody knows what's happening. So it just doesn't happen overnight. We got some great people out there, and I think everybody's going to enjoy the show.
Yeah. And we're hoping moving forward, too, like it's going to be an annual thing, and it's just going to keep building and building.
It could. You know what? I mean, they've been very welcoming. We could even, have several different things we could do. So it's,
Sure.
yeah.
Sure.
So it's, we've been in South Elgin a few years, and it went very well.
Oh, nice.
This is something totally different because we're setting everything up the stage. South Elgin, you had a platform. You had all of your, acoustic type setting to start with, but then you have all the plugins. So when the sound man comes, he just plugs in. We're doing this from scratch. So
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Who's running? Do you have a guy out there for sound?
yeah, oh yeah.
And who's that? Can we shout
I'm
him
going to connect you with him so that
Maybe we could shout him out on the air, though, so he's gets a little promotion out of it.
well, our sound guy. I don't know if I have the actual.
Oh, that's okay.
Well, I'm trying. I mean, I got Guy, but hold on one second.
Guy.
I don't. No,
Sorry
I
to
don't
put
have
you
the
on spot.
name.
We can definitely
of the
shout him out
company.
tomorrow, though, for sure.
Oh, you know what? We certainly will because he helped me get through getting the proper amps and generator that we needed because originally we were all set. It was a one-stop shop. The guy was taking care of it. Well, 2-3 days before our festival, tells me he can't do it. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm telling you, this is, it's been a lot. It's been a real lot. It's been a couple days of chasing around. And Nick Hill came through. Nick. Nick Hill came through for the stage. And it's just wonderful. So everybody working together. I think this is going to be, I know it's going to be
Should
awesome.
have called me, brother. I got a whole full PA system.
Well, yeah, but this is a little bit bigger than that, for everybody that's going to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't discount what you have. I'll check it out.
Yeah. No, I just trying to be helpful.
No, I got you. Well, listen, we're going to be a couple of minutes away. Anything you want to discuss about where you're going to be or what's happening other than tomorrow?
Well, just doing lots of good stuff going on. I'm doing a karaoke thing too on like the first and third Wednesdays.
Okay.
Out at Cougars in Kingston. That's very nice. We had a good crowd last night. That was a good thing. I thought, not last night, excuse me, last Wednesday. So just hoping to, keep that growing and keep the gigs going through and hoping
We're going to have a great event. Hey, everybody, we had Tim Longson again inside the studio. You can see him tomorrow at America's First Responders Fest right in downtown Hampshire. Thank you very much for listening and tune in next week. Dino's Night Out, WRMN 1410.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. If you're struggling with mental health, you should know that there are resources out there that can help. And it's okay to talk about it if you need to. One place to get started with information is loveyourmindtoday.org. Loveyourmindtoday.org offers a range of guides, instructions, and insights for dealing with difficult situations or getting through a tough time. If you're struggling with mental health, get the help you need, because most people out here really care. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 4 o'clock.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Sky Rizzi. Batavia officers were dispatched to a report of a burglary in progress just before 9:45 p.m. Monday at All Da Smoke on West Wilson Street. Police said officers discovered evidence of forced entry through the front door, but no suspects were at the scene. Officials are still working to determine what was stolen. An investigation into the incident is ongoing, and no charges have been filed. Anyone with information is asked to contact Batavia Police at 630-454-2500. This week, the Wheaton City Council voted against a zoning amendment request to allow a domestic animal lounge at 923 Roosevelt Road. The petitioners, Candle of Hope, were aiming to build a cat lounge that would provide housing and play areas for cats and allow visitors to interact with the cats. The council voted 6-1 against the resolution. Councilmember Scott Brown raised concerns that the zoning amendment did not line up with plans the city council had discussed for the Roosevelt Road corridor. The Federal Reserve cut its key interest rate by a quarter point Wednesday and projected it would do so twice more this year. The move is the Fed's first cut since December, and it lowered its short-term rate to about 4.1%, down from 4.3%. Before the meeting, investors on Wall Street had projected 5 cuts for the rest of this year and next. Fed officials submit their forecasts of future rate moves anonymously. A protest drew dozens to the District 300 Administration Building Wednesday, as some parents are calling on School Board President Nancy Zedler to step down following a social media post she shared regarding Charlie Kirk's death. The post read, quote, "The first thing I thought of when I heard this today was karma is an expletive. Then I read this." She then posted a quote from Qasim Rashid, which centered around the need for empathy following Kirk's assassination. Parents within District 300 said Zedler's post was insensitive. Around 60 people gathered outside the D300 Administration Building in Algonquin on Monday morning, as well as the intersection of Harnish and Randall Roads, to protest. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to handle the busy holiday season, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
From the pages of the Elgin newspapers of 100 years ago today, these are the headlines brought to you by the Elgin History Museum.
I'm Nick Freeman, and here's what was happening in Elgin, our fair city, on September 18th, 1925. The third and last of a series of lectures on applied psychology was given at Moose Hall last night by Dr. Pamamel L. Aderos, president of the Society of Transcendent Science. Dr. Aderos told of the powerful inner forces present in every individual, declaring that these forces can be discovered and put to work by developing what he called direct cognition by the laws of suggestion. He said a person's mind can be developed either during sleep or in the waking state. Dr. Aderos gave several demonstrations, in one of which he showed how pain can be passed from one person's body to another.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. This afternoon, mostly cloudy with a high near 86, temperatures falling to around 83. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms before 5 a.m., then scattered showers and thunderstorms. Mostly cloudy with a low around 64. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high near 79. Currently, it is 84 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So my sandwich shop was opening in a week, and I needed signage.
A week is plenty of time to panic.
I went to Staples. They printed banners, posters, and flyers to promote my grand opening.
All in time for your grand closing.
Nope, I had it same day. I even got $125 off my order.
Hold the onions. For all your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. In-store and online, same day if ordered by 12 p.m. Into 11/1. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
The Live Like Rue Foundation is a 501c3 charitable organization that assists owners and their pets through a cancer diagnosis by providing financial and emotional support. In memory of a dog named Rue, the foundation helps local shelters and rescuers by sponsoring animals with cancer who do not yet have a forever home. Live Like Rue is a beacon of light during a dark time. For support for your pet or to donate or volunteer, please go to livelikeRue.org. Again, livelikeRue.org.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
And good day to our friends around the world. This is a political talk show. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. I am your host and moderator for today because, of course, it's one of our favorite days out there, and that is Free Speech Friday. That's right. We've got some returning champions here for the Free Speech Friday panel, and we've got a new person on, one of the listeners here that requested to come on with us. And we always love listening to our listeners as well, because, of course, a political talk show is a forum for everybody. I want to make that clear, that we're not one of those shows that's going to bring people on just to beat them up because they have a different view than us. We want to make sure that this is an open forum. So with that in mind, we're opening the phone lines today as well. That is 847-931-1410, 847-931-1410. Also, don't forget that the text line is open 24 hours a day, and that is 505-926-1410. So let's introduce our panel. Of course, we've got on the end the MC, the Master of Ceremonies, and the host of Dino's Night Out. That, of course, is Dino DeLaley. Thank you very much for being here, sir.
Thank you very much for letting me be on.
Also in the middle, we've got a listener who decided to come on with us today. This is Matt Ludke, who lives in the area and is interested in politics, to speak with us. Thank you, Matt, for coming in.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, we appreciate you coming in, too. And, of course, we've got David Tease, the resident here on the Free Speech Friday, because we love having him in here. And you do a great job balancing my slightly liberal bias to things, so yeah. I appreciate you being in.
Thank you.
Did he say slightly?
Did
I hear slightly?
Yeah, he's being nice today. Yeah. He's in a better mood.
Is he?
That's it. Yeah, yesterday, it gets into, what is that, grinds my gears? Is that what everybody says on that? I forget what Andy Rooney used to say.
I think he used to say, no.
See, that's what I am. I am the millennial Andy Rooney. So I've got plenty of political things to do. But the issue that I ran into
is that I made an oath to the Constitution when I served the military. And when we go against the Constitution, or I feel that the Constitution is being attacked or rights are being eroded, et cetera, it's one of those things that it's not an incremental thing. You don't turn around and go, you know what, I can lose a little bit of my rights over here. Maybe I'm at 98% of my rights, but I'm still okay, right? I still own 100% of 98 of my rights. So it's whatever you want to do. So that's where I get a little bit heated on things. So I don't normally rant for a full 2 hours on one subject. I like to do at least 1 hour at a time, right?
It mixes it up there a little bit.
I try to, but that's why I wanted to bring you guys on. So it wasn't just me yelling about this. So since you opened it up already, let's talk about it. Let's talk about free speech. This is Free Speech Friday. And so let's first frame it with the situation that we've got right now. Obviously, absolutely abhorrent and terrible political violence against somebody who was a free speech absolutist, who believed that there was no, quote, hate speech. There's ugly speech, there's gross speech. But he himself, Charlie Kirk, said that all speech should be free. That's how you have anything. So for me to turn around and have people take his memory and use his memory to then say, well, you know what? Yeah, he did advocate for all speech, but that speech right there about him, that's the stuff that I don't like. That's my version of it. So Dean, let's take you first, just so we can walk down a little bit. What is your thoughts of the situation of, let's say, just the overall situation of the American government saying this type of language is going to be illegal?
You're speaking of how Charlie Kirk used to speak?
No, Pam Bondi, I guess Stephen Miller, who is the cabinet secretary, I believe, even the president has said that hate speech is going to be prosecuted, and hate speech is going to be, they literally said, we're coming after you, or we're going after you. They literally said that. So how do you feel about somebody in our government as a leader who has the power to go after people saying, we will go after you for this type of speech?
Well, I mean, again, all the protections that we have for free speech have to be protected, especially our radio station. We have a group of journalists here as well. We're not ready to put them all on the air, but you have to allow free speech to be present. And just to what you were saying, how Charlie Kirk said it, you know, there's no bad speech, there's speech. And there's no hatred, it's dialogue. And I think if you don't have the opportunity to have free speech and speak the way you feel, now you guys all know me, I'm pretty right out there. You ask me a question, I give you the
I think
answer.
the CFCC is the only people that can keep you from saying something.
Well, but I don't, you know, we don't have to have the adjectives that go along with it. But in general, on a topic, I'd like to give a topic. But to be muffled, I don't think that we should start muffling people from what they have to say.
Matt?
I have a question.
Yeah.
On this topic, you were just saying a moment ago, the consequences of free speech, the accountability of it. It seems like sometimes, though, when you hear some certain people speak, it's almost like there's an implied permission structure. Like, nobody should say that stuff, but wink, wink, you know, if it happens. And so there's almost sometimes like an implied permission structure woven into it in a way. It's like a wink of an eye. Free speech, of course, is our ultimate. It's the First Amendment. It's that important. But yeah, then we start to hear the temperature of the rhetoric kind of dialogue up and down. But it seems sometimes the people who are saying that on any side are the ones that are kind of manipulating that.
I could see
the temperature of that. And so it becomes like a kind of a mind game.
And it's a bad faith type of argument, right?
Yes.
Where you turn around and it's kind of tongue in cheek. Well, nobody should call anybody a fascist except when they are a fascist. And so I do get that side of it as well, to your point to that. And I think at the end of the day, I think there's a difference between allowing and liking. I think that's where we're really kind of splitting hairs here, is free speech is allowed. And I want it to always be allowed. And that's what I support, is being able to say whatever you want to. Do I like the things that people say when they can say whatever they want to? No, absolutely not. You people are crazy. You say all kinds of terrible things. I have to cover my ears just walking down the mall sometimes. It's craziness. But
you know what, Matt, you said something again, and Dennis has spoken about this before. Accountability. Our First Amendment allows us free speech to say whatever it is we want to say about whatever race, about whatever style of something. But don't forget, if you're in business, if you have a job someplace, there's repercussions because it's what it is you say.
It's free from the government.
Correct.
Not free from...
It gives you the freedom to say what you want, but know that what you're saying truly are going to be repercussions from it.
It's kind of like when they say, you can't yell fire in a movie theater.
Right.
Well, you can, but you'll probably get trampled and you'll probably be arrested. There's the consequences. There's a parenthetical in there that is oftentimes like kind of left out.
Well, okay, so that's what they're trying to, honestly, I think they're conflating it, but that's what I think they're trying to do, is they're trying to compare calling somebody a fascist or calling somebody evil or calling somebody like that is the same as saying fire. That's what they're trying to do, is say, when you call somebody a bad name, there might be a guy who's got a gun that says, hey, you might have a bad name and might go after that guy. They're taking something that is, when you get charged with that, you get charged with inciting a panic, right? That's what you're really charged with. You're not charged because you said fire. You're charged because you incited a panic with your words, or you used your words to threaten. You're not getting charged for the words, you're getting charged for the action that's happening.
Or the result of.
Or the result of. Yeah. So, Dave, let's bring you into this as well. So, there's repercussions, and Jimmy Kimmel is feeling those repercussions of all of the words he said, not just the stuff that he said adjacent to Charlie Kirk or anything like that. He's feeling the wrath of everything he said right now. I mean, we can split hairs here all day.
It all goes under scrutiny.
Exactly.
Once you finally get to the point where, okay, that's it.
So at what point were we going to see ABC in this failing, terrible show that doesn't have any ratings? Nobody's making any money off of it, but for some weird reason, they're keeping it fed. And we don't have to think about the FCC. No. We were going to shut him down on Wednesday anyway. He just happened to say the thing on Monday. Oh, okay. Coincidence. Where do you think this line is blurred, or is it not blurred? Is this just business as usual?
Business as usual. What it was ABC took the opportunity right there and then to finally terminate his show. And it was their excuse to do it. Yeah, he said some things in the past, but he had free speech. And, but when you start saying something, I mean, if you're a Cubs fan, I'm a Sox fan, and you're getting up and you're speaking for the Cubs and hate all the Sox fans, go out there and tear their houses down, beat them up with Cub bats, that's where you're crossing the line.
Sure.
It's the fire thing.
And if Jimmy Kimmel said that, I'd be right there with you. Right. But he didn't say that in any kind of way.
He did not say that in any kind of way. But other speeches in the past have been, you do have the right to speak. But when you start promoting violence or talking really bad and thinking it was a good thing with what happened with Charlie Kirk, that's where you're really crossing the line. People don't like that. Yeah, it's unfortunate he's gone, but when he's gone, don't talk bad about the guy.
But again, that wasn't what Jimmy Kimmel said either.
Right. So they just took their opportunity. They took their opportunity. His ratings are down, and hey, guys, this is our opportunity to just get rid of him right now. And that was a business decision. It was a business decision.
And if the FCC is also going to say that they don't like it too, well, it just makes the decision easier, right?
Right.
Is the way. But that's where I find offense to it, is the FCC shouldn't be involved in any of the decision to do that. And that's the issue. Now,
hold on.
Is it technically that way? But go ahead.
You had something that you were going to jump
on. I was just going to say the issue, at hand with Jimmy Kimmel. What he said was, I believe, was that he implied that the shooter was a Republican or a conservative.
Yeah, it was their own people.
Yeah.
Well, he had said, and I could pull up the quote during break, but essentially what he had said is MAGA has been trying all weekend to not have him connected to them.
Yes.
Right. Now, implying and whatever else, but that's the word that he said. Then immediately afterwards, he pointed out how kind of callous the president was about the mourning period, right? Where he didn't really say anything and he went immediately to the construction side of it. As far as implying that he is MAGA or was MAGA, in his quote, he does not say that the guy is MAGA. He says that MAGA has spent all weekend denouncing him.
That he's one of their own, yes.
And so, honestly, as far as what he said, I can pull up all kinds of terrible things from other people and other stuff.
Sure.
Worse stuff.
And worse
Not
stuff.
that you could be
even within
much
the last
worse.
2
Right,
weeks,
yeah.
right?
It makes it feel spurious that they're kind of, that the timing is very...
And that's what I mean, is we can play this plausible deniability stuff. We can play this, well, you know what, they were already going to fire him anyway. We can play that game because it's the game that they decided to put us in. But again, we're back to our leaders should not even have the view of impropriety, right? That's really what we always talk about, is they shouldn't even look like they might be messing with something. And I think we've kind of given many administrations the benefit of the doubt in that area. I don't want to just point at this one. This has been a stacking Jenga block.
The only thing is that Trump and Bonnie, they're not trying to take our free speech away. What they're trying to do is to tone down the violent speeches that are out
tone
there.
it down.
Because when you got a speaker out there saying, or somebody's free speeching, or even on social media, burn it down, tear it down, kill people, commit violence, you're actually trying to, you're controlling the situation, and you're trying to promote terrorism. In my opinion, that's where you got to really, that's the fine line of free speech. But if you're up there saying, hey, I don't like broccoli, nobody can make me eat broccoli, that's my free speech and that's what I have, but they're not going to censor me, shut me down, or anything else like that. But when you're promoting violence and wanting to injure people and cause bodily harm, and by motivating people in a speech, that's, I think, a line crosser on free speech.
My fascist parents made me eat broccoli. Yeah, it was there, right? It was there. The nerve of them, right?
Wow,
we got a caller here. Go ahead.
But just real fast. Yeah. But even the producer. See, so Jimmy Kimmel said what he said, right? That's the guy, Kimmel?
Yeah.
I never watched him. So, okay, Jimmy Kimmel said what he said. So it goes back to the same thing. First Amendment protected him. This book right here, he's got all the protections. But the producer even said, you sure you don't want to tone that down a little bit? And he still said what he said because he had that right, and he felt he had that right, but now here's a repercussion of it. I don't know. I heard that on a report as well.
And I get it, of a business decision or a programming decision or anything like that. If that's the decision that was supposed to be made, then that was the decision that was going to be made, et cetera, et cetera. Then why have everybody talk about getting rid of him? Why have 2 months before now have the president say Jimmy Kimmel's next? You know what I mean? It's just, it's that side of impropriety that I don't necessarily like. Let's get to a caller real quick. 847-931-1410. I see you guys over there. Hello, caller. Welcome in.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
So, as a target of hate mail and social media posts on a regular basis.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's okay. It comes with the territory. So when you're an elected official in office, it's really hard to have your quote-unquote peace disturbed, right? So you're like a target. And so in this political climate, it's really amped up. So much so that, you have to do things that you wouldn't normally do, like put up security cameras in different places and monitor mail and all this other stuff. It happens on a regular basis. But what I tend to get upset about a lot of times is the free speech and the free speech argument seems to be a blanket argument when it comes to saying something that you shouldn't say to another person, just from a morality standpoint. You say what you want to say and don't think that there's any repercussions, whether it be in writing, whether it be in text, whether it be in social media, or whether you say it on like a radio station or something like that. And so the argument always is free speech, free speech, free speech. And the difference is that people don't realize, as an elected official, you're bound by code of ethics and stuff like that, but you're not bound by even employment. There's a distinct difference if you were an employee of an organization versus being an elected official representing that organization. And I say that because as you look at the news from the past week, there's some school board members that have caused some stir because of their political stances, and people are calling for their resignation, but nothing seems to happen, right? Because they're not bound by any of those same rules. Whereas if an employee of that organization would make those same types of claims, they're bound by ethics and standards and things within the employment agreement that they signed or policy handbook, and then they're disciplined from that. So I think that it's a double standard, and I feel like the free speech argument, while it is valid, it seems to be a blanket, I can say whatever I want because it's America.
Especially for elected officials. Congress themselves have the speech and debate clause where they can pretty much say whatever they want to in any kind of way. And then what you've also got is the founders wanted to make sure that elected officials could say whatever they needed to say with the debate or whatever else. Now,
right, but there used to be respectfully, but there used to be this thing of decor. There used to be, where elected officials acted appropriately.
Yeah, like elected officials.
Yeah.
And so from my perspective,
absolutely.
I have a hard time with political individuals, elected officials that go and spout their, I'll call it hate, or whatever they want to do to rile up their base. And then they have to look at my young son and say, you could be anything you want to be, even the president of the United States or Congress or whatever it is you want to do. And then you look at the examples that all these individuals are setting. And then, on the other side of the argument, and they go, oh, well, it's free speech, or the other people say this, so therefore that automatically is a blanket. Well, it's okay for them to do whatever they're doing because it's the exact opposite of whatever the other people did. It's a simple math equation. 50% of the people, less than 50% of the people vote in general elections in general, okay, period. So that means there's 25% people on either side of it, which is the base.
Yeah, and that base is pretty small. Go ahead, Matt.
And there's 50% of the people.
In the beginning, he was kind of saying that free speech is being used as an excuse to be rude and abrasive.
Yeah.
I saw these compilations of previous presidential debates where a lot of them, Reagan, Nixon, Kennedy, all of them, and on up, they would actually. It was just it seemed like a more genteel time. It seems like we're losing a lot of social etiquettes that used to be really binding, like a glue. A lot of these presidents would turn to their opponent and be like, we agree on many things. It's just the path we're taking to get to a similar goal is going to be very different. And so I agree, though. There's an abrasiveness that is really becoming caustic.
Caller, to that point, do you think that the respect has changed, or do you think the path has changed?
I think it's a lack of respect. What do you need to have respect for? When you can go on social media and say whatever it is you want to say with no consequences.
Yeah.
That is now bled. That is now bled to being on TV. I mean, I'm not arguing any side of this coin. Okay, I'm not specifically weighing into the Jimmy Kimmel conversation. I'm not making the Charlie Kirk conversation. I'm saying, when as a society has it now become okay to act the way that we are toward each other, even in the grocery lines, or especially in positions of elected officials? And what are we teaching the next generation?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
The division of the parties has gotten the wall has gotten too tall. Before
you have your son, right? You have your children, right? And your children go, they talk inappropriately, and you go, you should not talk like that. And then, as you say that, there's a sign, there's a sticker on the back of the car with a middle finger up in the air. You know what I'm saying? I see it all the time.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate you calling in. We got to hit a hard time break on this, but thanks for listening. I really appreciate your thoughts on this, caller.
Well, you're a good man, Sonar. See you.
Thank you. We do what we can over here.
Remember, morals
see you tomorrow.
aren't taught, they're caught.
Yes, you will.
See you tomorrow at First Responders Fest. That's right. We'll see you all over there. Thanks, caller, for hopping in. It seems like what we really need to do is maybe start electing some nicer people. I mean, that's honestly, every time I try to find a repercussion of like, oh, if somebody says something bad and they're or they do this, it always comes down to elect somebody different.
Who is here has the ability to be nice. You're talking about looking for nicer people. They all have the ability to be nice. They just got to get to that common ground again. Everyone's got to one-up them.
More Apolitical Talk Show coming up.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Sky Rizzi. Batavia officers were dispatched to a report of a burglary in progress just before 9:45 p.m. Monday at All the Smoke on West Wilson Street. Police said officers discovered evidence of forced entry through the front door, but no suspects were at the scene. Officials are still working to determine what was stolen. An investigation into the incident is ongoing, and no charges have been filed. Anyone with information is asked to contact Batavia Police at 630-454-2500. This week, the Wheaton City Council voted against a zoning amendment request to allow a domestic animal lounge at 923 Roosevelt Road. The petitioners, Candle of Hope, were aiming to build a cat lounge that would provide housing and play areas for cats and allow visitors to interact with the cats. The council voted 6-1 against the resolution. Councilmember Scott Brown raised concerns that the zoning amendment did not line up with plans the City Council had discussed for the Roosevelt Road corridor. The Federal Reserve cut its key interest rate by a quarter point Wednesday and projected it would do so twice more this year. The move is the Fed's first cut since December, and it lowered its short-term rate to about 4.1%, down from 4.3%. Before the meeting, investors on Wall Street had projected 5 cuts for the rest of this year and next. Fed officials submit their forecasts of future rate moves anonymously. A protest drew dozens to the District 300 Administration Building Wednesday, as some parents are calling on School Board President Nancy Zettler to step down following a social media post she shared regarding Charlie Kirk's death. The post read, quote, "The first thing I thought of when I heard this today was karma is an expletive. Then I read this." She then posted a quote from Qasim Rashid, which centered around the need for empathy following Kirk's assassination. Parents within District 300 said Zettler's post was insensitive. Around 60 people gathered outside the D300 Administration Building in Algonquin on Monday morning, as well as the intersection of Harnish and Randall Roads, to protest. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to handle the busy holiday season, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
At Britain's Touchless Car Wash, they know life gets busy. That's why they're here 24/7 to keep your car looking spotless, fast, and easy. Their advanced brush-free wash technology delivers a sparkling clean without a single scratch, because they treat your car like it's their own. Here's the best part. Right now, you can get a free car wash just for joining their text club. It's simple. Just text BRITT to 30400, and your first wash is on them. Britain's Touchless Car Wash has 2 convenient locations, 1923 Larkin Avenue in Elgin and 555 Willow in West Dundee. They're proud to keep your car clean while giving back to our community. Text BRITT to 30400. That's BRITT to 30400. now for your free car wash and see why Britain's touchless car wash is the fast, gentle, and reliable choice.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. This afternoon, partly sunny with a high near 86, temperatures falling to around 83. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms before 5 a.m., then scattered showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low around 64. Rain likely with new rainfall amounts between 1/4 and 1/2 inch possible. Currently, it is 84 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
It's Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances and save an additional $1,000 when you buy 4 select LG major appliances. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5 amp hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Get the job done for less at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 9/26. Selection varies by location while supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
To a political talk show here on WRMN. I don't know if you know this or not. I've only been talking about it forever. And you know what? On the 21st, I'll still be talking about it. It's going to be the America's First Responders Fest. This year it's happening in downtown Hampshire. That is 1 to 6 p.m., rain or shine, by the way. Downtown Hampshire will have a stage where we will have first responder recognition. Also on that stage, Rick Lindy and the Wild Ones, Mixed Company Band, and if you were paying attention to the station at about 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, or 3 o'clock earlier today on Dino's Night Out, we had Tim from Canyon Arrow Light featuring Tim and Joe. They'll be over there at First Responders Fest Saturday, September 20th. Classic car show by the Eagles Club. That's 1047 of the Eagles Club. That's the one that's over on in Gilbert's. Vendor booths, food trucks, and kids' activities. Also, we've got some great First Responders Fest merchandise that you can go ahead and purchase as well, along with a 50-50 raffle where the proceeds, just like the proceeds for America's First Responders Fest, are going to go to some great people. They are going to go to Canines for Veterans. They're also going to go to the Illinois Peer Support Group for firefighters and police, and True Patriots Care. You can find them at truepatriotscare.com. I want to welcome back in the Free Speech Friday panel. And of course, that is David Tease. That's our new friend, Matt Ludke, and Dean Delaley. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here.
All right. Thanks for having us.
Matt, you had a question. You wanted to come on to the show, and you wanted to ask a question.
You know, I was listening to you talk in the beginning.
Thank you.
Yes. And you said you're of a liberal mindset and that you've been in the military.
Yeah.
Were you liberal before you went in the military? Was there? I'm kind of fascinated by people's journeys, because for me personally, I'm a third generation tradesman, yada yada, but I was never very like a political person. Didn't care. My parents, I believe, although that's from a time when people didn't talk about religion, politics, and money, but I believe they were just old school classic Democrats. I never really cared much for politics per se until Trump was elected, or until that lead up to his election. And then all of a sudden, and it obviously a very divisive figure. And that's when I saw relationships, people, friends, things starting to take very strict stances.
Almost more than religion would, right?
Yes, to the point of dividing families, friends, long time, all this stuff. All these things happen. So it just kind of fascinates me how people came to it, because I never took stock of where I was politically until then. And because I'm a third generation in a family business, I'm a business owner, all this stuff, I just kind of realized that I kind of leaned towards the right. A a lot of my growing up, I suppose I would be more like maybe socially a little more middle or to the left a bit. But then, my underpinnings, without even knowing it, I developed like a fiscal right thing, all this stuff. And I never, ever took stock of it. My wife, she's very poli-sci major, so she's the politics in the house. But yeah,
thanks for listening as well.
And she's doing it right now. But so I just never really took stock of that until I realized, until it was like thrust upon me, kind of. So how did you come to find out that you were? Was there a defining moment or a revelation or something happened that you're just like, oh, this is who I am?
I think for me it was gradual for the most part. I was raised Southern Baptist in Ohio.
Oh wow.
And my dad wasn't able to be a deacon, but performed all the deacon duties for the church and everything else. And that's old school Reagan type of side. And even to the point where it was Romney is where he started to move over more for everything else than Bush or anyone else. It was more towards that side. For me, it was when I was in the military, and I think it was under Bush I was in the military. I loved it because I got a raise every year. It was fantastic. So but again, like most people, it's like, it's good for me, but okay, maybe we need to slow it down a little bit. But what really got to me was, I think it was when John Kelly was running, and he essentially said anybody who went into the military instead of college was an idiot. Or dumb, or didn't make the right choice, or anything like that. Yeah, good job with all your degrees working at the coffee shops. Is what I like to say now. But essentially, that was when I started paying more attention. Not only for the fact that like my boss was part of the military and part of everything else, so I was voting for my boss. My entire tour in active duty was under Bush, so I didn't get to vote for anybody until after I was out, and then that's where Obama and McCain came in, and then I was a McCain supporter at the time as well, because a lot of for me is first I was young, I didn't understand much of anything, so I usually default to the politics of our parents or how we were raised. The other side was I didn't know anything about President Obama when he came up. He came up out of nowhere. He was a dark horse that nobody really saw him coming in. And I think that's what really helped his motivation, because even back in that time, which would be 2008 or so, that time everybody was hungry for change. And I think that same mentality of change and the outsider and that kind of side was just starting to peak out, which is where we started to see like this refusal of Clinton, and where Trump started to swell up in 2015. So as far as where I've seen it, like most people, I always defaulted to fiscally conservative and socially liberal. That's where a lot of just Americans default without even really thinking about it, right? I want to balance my checkbook, and I want to make sure my neighbor's happy, right? That's what you boil it down to. It's when we get complicated into politics that we start to go, okay, what kind of neighbors, and are they here on visa? Or are they not? Like, then it's like, well, wait a minute. Let's just take it back to the original. So where I found in my journey is, especially going back and reading a bit more about the Constitution and things like that, because I swore an oath to a piece of paper. Like I swore an oath to something that maybe at the time I didn't fully understand or grasp, and I wanted to. I wanted to make sure that if this was something I'm going to lay my life down for, this is something I swear to protect, I want to make sure I know every piece of it. It's the same reason why I had it when I was being raised Southern Baptist. If you're swearing your life to Christ and you're saying that this is the Word of God, you should read it. So I read it in a whole bunch of different ways. The new King James, the new International Version, there's a whole bunch of different ways to get it done. But I wanted to make sure as well I understood that. For me, having a oath or a dedication, that's something that I take seriously because, again, raised through that Southern Baptist lens of, and even the Dr. Seuss side, taking it all the way back to early childhood. Horton hears a who. An elephant is faithful 100%, right? I meant what I said what I meant. An elephant's faithful 100%. Even taking it all the way back down to that core memory, that's what I try to take with everything I do here. And by all means, I am wrong often. Many, many times I am wrong. And what I want to do is make sure that you have to be wrong to correct yourself. And if I turn around all day and think I'm always right and everything is the best and I'm never wrong, what does Aristotle say? You can't teach a man something who knows everything. Yeah. And so you have to have this bit of humility when you talk about politics and you talk about your feelings or your virtues or morality or anything else. Nietzsche even says that you should stumble over your words when you talk about your values. So I try to take that into consideration in my politics as well, which is where I always land. And every single time, I always try to test myself. I always try to look at what I'm doing. I always land on civic Republican. I love the Republic. I think it's one of the best forms, if not the best form of government out there that you can think of. Sure, utopia, but if men were angels, we wouldn't need a government, right? Madison. So take it from that Republican side of things, and then civic responsibility. We all have to be in charge of the game. You cannot jump in and out of the game whenever you want to, or in and out of the government whenever you want to, whenever it suits you.
What do you think about when people conflate constitutional republic with democracy? Sometimes,
I hate it.
I do too. It drives me crazy. You know, it's one of those things. It's we're standing on a definition, but it's very concise, and people conflate that all the time. They just swing this, and I'm like,
and that was another
those are
reason
two different things.
Why I didn't join or I didn't re-enlist. What I was at the time, I was starting to read the Constitution a bit more, and I had always gotten from the Navy spreading freedom and democracy around the world. And I said, well, hold on a second. Shouldn't we be spreading republic? Shouldn't we be spreading republicanism? That's what we are. We're not a democracy. Now, freedom, okay, cool. Freedom is the best. Yes. But republicanism, and I think to your point too of the democracy and freedom and everything else, what ends up with that is I think that's where a lot of Republicans aren't Republicans. They're libertarians. And a lot of that is coming down to the definition again. The definition of a republic and a Republican is a person who believes that there should not be arbitrary domination. That's it. I shouldn't just on a whim be able to tell you what to do and what not to do. A libertarian is no government interference. That's libertarian. That's not Republican. That's not democracy. That's libertarian. And I think what has happened is the words democracy and republic have been skewed by the parties. I think they have hijacked those words and made it to where we do it.
Because when we start manipulating words, they start to shift meanings around. And if we shift the meanings of words around, all of a sudden we're not speaking the same language, and it's a lot easier to manipulate a large group of people this way, I think, by controlling.
That's literally what I just said. No, I'm just joking. No.
Hey, Dean, do you want to go around the corner and have a beer while these two are talking?
Yeah,
we're just sitting here. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well, to the point of why I said literally, because now, according to Webster's dictionary, literally and figuratively both mean literally.
Of course.
Yes.
Why wouldn't
Because people have used literally so much. Literally, right?
Yeah,
so much.
It's abused quite badly.
So that's where we get a lot of this other stuff, republic and democracies for it. Do you guys have, because I know you've been in politics, Dean, for a few things here. Have you always been one side or the other? Have you kind of merged or changed throughout your life?
I don't know how to answer the question without make it sound too stupid, but
there's no stupid answers.
A lot of my politics were done through City of Chicago.
Okay.
So different businesses I had and what have you. So the Democrats, you always made money. Harold Washington was made a lot of money in your life. You had Sawyer, great guy. Everybody made money. Clinton, when he was around, everybody made money. There was such a thing as middle class. And then it started to waver, and it started to chip away. And I don't think we have what we used to have. You know, you talk about the words. Words have changed dramatically. Just listening to you guys, you know, always gets up my butt. You've said countless times, well, Trump, well, Bush, well, it's, you know, he's president. So show him what he is, President Trump. Even with former President Biden, former President Clinton. And, you know, so just saying the name, we've gotten away from all of that. I remember the one debate Reagan had where he said something about something. He says,
President
well,
Reagan.
yeah, President, yes. But I mean,
respect.
But the idea was he said something about something. The guy was giving him a shot, but he gave him a slick one back. Well, we didn't bring up the age of my opponent at this moment. I forget what it was, but it was a really slick one. You know what I mean? And slick ones, I think, are acceptable. But when we just start getting so nasty and I'm going to tell it like it is, guy. Believe me, I am. Which was a lot of what I've liked, again, in President Trump, is the fact that I think he's able to corral, just like Saddam Hussein. The dumbest thing we ever did was get rid of that freak. You know why? Because he kept all the animals at bay. Yeah, he was feeding people to tigers and lions. They were doing nasty, terrible things. So when we got rid of...
the devil you know, I guess?
Yeah, I guess. But we got rid of him, and then what happened? So who's going to control those people? Now they're all out loose. At least you have one guy controlling them. You know what I mean? And to me, things, again, they're changing. I like the way he can control. He appears to be able to control the other leaders of the other countries. He seems to have that down pretty well. His ego is bigger than his buildings he owns.
The megalomaniac.
Okay?
For sure.
And that's a shame to say that about him, because I think he has done some goods. But then you listen to him talk, because you and I have a lot of conversations. It's like, I'm like, did you really just say that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, why would you? He has no reason to even have to say it. But some of the stuff he does is it to just make his pals, hey, you're with me, aren't you, Matt? Come on, buddy. We're pals, aren't we? Is that why? I don't know. I don't know. But I know that I try to treat everybody with respect. I try to be a gentleman. I could go off at anybody just like anybody else. But I start with the right foot. And I turn my cheek several times. But eventually, I'm going to give. Okay?
Dave, have you always been a bleeding heart liberal?
I never got into politics. yeah, I've been one of those. Yeah, all right. I never got into politics until junior high school. And like many before me, when Kennedy was assassinated, I think at that point it changed a lot of people's minds in a political view, such as mine was when Reagan got shot. They made the announcement over the airways at the school. It reminded me a little bit. I wasn't around. Well, maybe it was Kennedy. Probably like a baby or something. I assume. But the bottom line is that affected me. It bothered me that somebody shot our president of the United States, and I took it to heart at that moment, because a lot of kids in that school at that time were shocked. But that's big news back in that time. And somebody tried to kill the president. We didn't know if he was alive.
The safest person in the world, right?
Yeah, right.
Is what you would think.
We didn't know if he was alive. We didn't know he was dead. But one of the things we never questioned, was it a Democrat at that time? Was it a crazy liberal trans at that time? Because that wasn't really the thought of the plan. It's just that our president was shot. We didn't know what was going on. And we didn't have cell phones or anything. So that's when I started, getting into politics. And that's where I stayed on my side of the fence and all that stuff, because of just the thought of this guy is our president, trying to keep us safe, keep us protected, make our country better, and somebody tried to kill him.
Matt, do you think the labels that everybody is kind of putting on themselves to just kind of, not necessarily tribalize, but almost to just kind of identify themselves, right?
Like badges?
Yeah,
sure.
Just to be able to recognize what they've got. And do you think using these labels, instead of using American or using politically minded or something like that, using left, right, liberal, conservative, far left, far right,
union, non-union, Cubs fan, Sox fan.
That's what I mean. Is maybe using the labels in the definitions too much? Because it's a double-edged sword to start pointing out things and saying, well, you're this thing. Well, I kind of am, left or right, but in that area, words can't contain every single person. Is that what we're having trouble with here?
It seems like most situations in life, very few can be reduced to a true binary.
It's true.
And I think anytime you do that, it's just saying you're not of our group, we're not of your group.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the labels, it's our similarities that give us our humanity, but it's our differences that give us identity. Identity is important. Identity, unfortunately, is one of those buzzwords of the day that's just divisive as can get. But I think being too stuck in a label is dangerous, because I think anytime you commit to a group full 100%, it doesn't leave us the room to change our minds and grow and evolve unless that umbrella, that badge we're wearing, allows room for that. Well, anytime you put a badge or a name on something, or you're defining it, you're boxing it in so that you can understand it. And then should you grow, should you learn more, should you change, those who might have stood with you all of a sudden are questioning you. Instead of taking the example, and maybe we can evolve together. That's the thing. Look at all the things that we have today. I mean, all the technology, all these things, all these advancements. What are we advancing to if at our very core, fundamental, we're just all a bunch of tribes? You know, we're kind of coming in a full circle kind of thing. We all started out tribally many, many moons ago. You build societies, but man, sometimes it feels like the weight of empire is on us.
Yeah.
And empires, you know, like Rome in those last days, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty.
No, and that's where I think I see a crossroads with us right now. Is I see us either galvanizing and taking this pressure that we've had for the last, let's say, 2 decades or so, the full 2000s, almost. It's felt like. But especially with Bush and everything else, 9/11, President Bush, but I feel like these last 20, 30 years or the whole time period we've got is either going to strengthen us or fracture us. It's one or the other that's going on right now, and we can't see it. And I think that's, for a lot of people who are politically minded, I think that's the scary part of what we're doing right now.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think that what we're living in right now, all of these things, like all of these little fractures, societally, whatever, I mean, right down the line in every facet of American life has been kind of really just kind of struck. Do you think that what we're feeling are the reverberations from 9/11? Because it seems like that event wasn't designed just to take a building down and kill a bunch of people. That was not the end game of that. And there's, of course, at this point, there are legion of theories of why this happened. However, it would seem like what was being aimed at was the foundation of our society, because once that crumbles, it creates all of these other problems. So now all of a sudden we have all these spinning plates, man, and we're fighting a 15-front war inside of our own borders, just with each other. You know
what do they say? Don't let a good catastrophe go to waste.
Yes.
So,
but are we looking for excuses? Like 9/11 is a great excuse, because I felt that I was going to say that 20 minutes ago.
Sorry.
Is it a cause? Yeah, it's okay. No, is it a cause of that, or is it, again, since you want to talk about President Trump a little bit, I know you do. The politicians that we have on both sides. I said this. I wouldn't give you a nickel for either one of them. And none of them are worthy of it. They're in there for too long, serving for themselves,
Well,
for their own pocket.
To Matt's point, I think that was the catalyst for the corruption and for the neocons and the neoliberals to shake hands and say, okay, this is the direction we're going in. I think that's what ended up happening. It wasn't the left and the right coming together. It was the deregulation and trickle down coming together with the military-industrial complex. Once those two came together, it put us on the path that we're sitting on right now. So how do we get away? And I think perfect point to you, Dean, as well, of it's an excuse. Just like the caller said, we can always do better. and we can always do good right now. Come back. We'll see you on the other side after the news. I see you there, caller. Stick around.
Do you own an annuity, either fixed rate, indexed, or variable? Are you paying high fees and getting low returns? If so, Annuity General would like you to have this free book to learn the pitfalls and mistakes of buying an annuity. The Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers contains the little-known truths about annuities, like how to help reduce your fees and increase retirement income. And it's free. That's right, free. As a bonus, we'll also throw in a free annuity rate report just for calling. We researched over 1,000 annuities and summarized rates and benefits from financially strong insurers. You get Annuity Do's and Don'ts for Baby Boomers and the Annuity Rate Report, both absolutely free for calling Annuity General today. Hurry, supplies are limited. Call now.
800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. 800-760-1845. That's 800-760-1845.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 5 o'clock.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Sky Rizzi. This week, the Wheaton City Council voted against a zoning amendment request to allow a domestic animal lounge at 923 Roosevelt Road. The petitioners, Candle of Hope, were aiming to build a cat lounge that would provide housing and play areas for cats and allow visitors to interact with the cats. The council voted 6-1 against the resolution. Councilmember Scott Brown raised concerns that the zoning amendment did not line up with plans the city council had discussed for the Roosevelt Road corridor. The Federal Reserve cut its key interest rate by 1/4 point Wednesday and projected it would do so twice more this year. The move is the Fed's first cut since December, and it lowered its short-term rate to about 4.1%, down from 4.3%. Before the meeting, investors on Wall Street had projected 5 cuts for the rest of this year and next. Fed officials submit their forecasts of future rate moves anonymously. A protest drew dozens to the District 300 Administration Building Wednesday, as some parents are calling on School Board President Nancy Zettler to step down following a social media post she shared regarding Charlie Kirk's death. The post read, quote, "The first thing I thought of when I heard this today was karma is an expletive. Then I read this." She then posted a quote from Qasim Rashid, which centered around the need for empathy following Kirk's assassination. Parents within District 300 said Zettler's post was insensitive. Around 60 people gathered outside the D300 Administration Building in Algonquin on Monday morning, as well as the intersection of Harnish and Randall Roads, to protest. Batavia officers were dispatched to a report of a burglary in progress just before 9:45 p.m. Monday at All Da Smoke on West Wilson Street. Police said officers discovered evidence of forced entry through the front door, but no suspects were at the scene. Officials are still working to determine what was stolen. An investigation into the incident is ongoing, and no charges have been filed. Anyone with information is asked to contact Batavia Police at 630-454-2500. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway, because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles, Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
From the pages of the Elgin newspapers of 100 years ago today, these are the headlines brought to you by the Elgin History Museum.
I'm Nick Freeman, and here's what was happening in Elgin, our fair city, on September 18th, 1925. The third and last of a series of lectures on applied psychology was given at Moose Hall last night by Dr. Pamamel L. Aderos, president of the Society of Transcendent Science. Dr. Aderos told of the powerful inner forces present in every individual. declaring that these forces can be discovered and put to work by developing what he called direct cognition by the laws of suggestion. He said a person's mind can be developed either during sleep or in the waking state. Dr. Aderos gave several demonstrations, in one of which he showed how pain can be passed from one person's body to another.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. This afternoon, partly sunny with a high near 86, temperatures falling to around 83. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms before 5 a.m., then scattered showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low around 64. Rain likely with new rainfall amounts between 1/4 and 1/2 of an inch possible. Currently, it is 84 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
It's Pro Savings Days at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances and save an additional $1,000 when you buy 4 select LG major appliances. Plus, get a free DeWalt 20-volt max 5 amp hour battery when you buy a select DeWalt 20-volt max tool. Get the job done for less at Lowe's. We help, you save. Valid through 9/26. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
Want to read some action-packed, exciting pulp fiction? Read the works of Michael Tooman, now featuring their international crime thriller, I Married a Bot Madam. Available on Amazon in hardcover, paperback, and Kindle editions. The paperback is also available at other book retailers. Check out Michael Tooman's webpage at Scilink.net. That's Papa Sierra Yankee Lima India November Kilo dot November Echo Tango.
Before the weather gets too cold, it's time to finish up those outdoor jobs. That's why ComEd wants you to know that electricity can jump from a power line to you and to the tools you're using. So maintain a safe distance from any power lines. You can also call ComEd at 1-800-EDISON-1 to have those power lines de-energized the next time you do any work around them. Stay smart, stay safe, stay back. ComEd, powering lives.
And good day to our friends around the world. This is A Political Talk Show. I'm your host, Dennis Sonar Green. You can find us here Monday through Friday, 4 to 6. Today is a very fantastic day. It's Free Speech Friday. I don't know if you know that or not. It is Friday, so check your watch. You're probably late for something. Be here every Friday where we do Free Speech Friday, and we have the Free Speech Friday panel. Today, we've got 2 people that are on in this hour with us. That, of course, is our good buddy David Tease. And, of course, we've got a new friend with us today. That is Matt Lutke. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you.
We got one caller, and then we'll get to your text messages over there. Okay. I believe this is Submariner Bob. Hello, sir. How are you?
Just fine, gentlemen.
What would you like to talk about, sir?
I'd like to talk about polarization.
Go ahead.
That's what we have right now is polarization. Mm-hmm. We have extreme on the left and extreme on the right. No room for compromise. Mm-hmm. And that's the way our government is set up. We have checks and balances. It requires compromise to get things done.
Absolutely. I'm there with you, Bob, too, because I hate being called a centrist. I hate being called, everybody come back to the center, let's come. No. You want to be a Republican, you want to be a Democrat, you want to be on the right, you want to be on the left. That's your prerogative. I'm not here to change your mind. What I am here is to remind you that we live in a republic and there are rules to the republic. I'm more of a foundationalist than I am a centrist. Go ahead, Bob.
That's really what the problem is. you're required to vote for what you consider to be the lesser of two evils. That is what has to change. Now, when you have the situation where one House of Congress is of one political majority and the other one is of the opposite one, you have a check and balance to a certain extent, but that's not really the kind of check and balance you want.
Well, Bob, do you think the check has gone and balance has gone a little bit too far into obstruction? It's no longer, well, I'll check to make sure that you're not breaking the laws, or I'll balance it out so that you can stay on the same path. But in most recent years, it's become more of I'm just going to stop what you're doing. I don't want you to do anything. That doesn't seem like a balance to me. That seems like more like undermining.
Again, there's malice.
Yeah.
The actions.
You know, it seems kind of like sometimes people who attempt to reach across the aisle are almost targeted, or it seems a lot of times.
Oh yeah, hello.
That gesture is not popular.
They become compromised when they do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Thank you, Bob. I really appreciate your thoughts.
Thank you. And incidentally, you never fooled me. I always picked you to be a liberal.
No, you're right.
You out.
It's there. It's there. I'm the most liberal Republican you'll ever see. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Take care now, guys.
You too.
Oxymoron.
You too. Yes and no. You know, I love the Republic. I'm just not a fan of the party that calls itself the Republican Party. You had something that somebody texted into you as well there, Matt.
My at-home producer had, had sent in some notes here for me about the Jimmy Kimmel situation. It says, this has nothing to do with First Amendment rights. Kimmel can continue to spew his hateful lies all day long. This is about FCC regulations, like you had said, for broadcasting companies and how they probably shouldn't be interfering so much. No one complained about Roseanne Barr, Tucker Carlson, or Megyn Kelly being fired. And then down here it says false information. Broadcasters cannot broadcast false information about a crime or catastrophe if it is known to be false and could cause substantial public harm. And that's
very true.
It's a very interesting point. And it seems like the comments that Jimmy made, they're in a gray area. It's highly interpretive, and this is always, where we get our bones of contention and our divisions springs from these just.
Absolutely. This, to just set the frame, this is what he said. This was the quote that's here. We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it. In between finger pointing, there was grieving on Friday. The White House flew flags to half staff, which got some criticism. But on a human level, you can see how hard the president is taking this. He then shows a clip of a reporter offering condolences for Trump for the loss of a friend and asking him how he's holding up over the last day. Trump responds by saying, I think very good. And by the way, right here, you see all the trucks. They've just started construction of the new ballroom for the White House, which is something they've been trying to get, as you know, for about 150 years, and it's going to be a beauty. The show then cuts back to Kimmel, who says, yes, he's at the fourth stage of grief, construction, demolition, construction. This is not how an adult grieves the murder of someone he called a friend. This is how a 4-year-old mourns a goldfish. That was what he said.
Yes.
So I absolutely understand, and I even understand even more so about this being an affiliate side. Chairman Carr said that this is very, very serious for ABC. Then he said it's even more serious for the affiliates. And it was Sinclair and Nexstar that decided to go away. The reason that Nexstar dropped quickly is because Nexstar has business before the FCC right now. They are trying to merge with another company that owns more local stations. They not only need that approval for the merger, they also need the FCC to drop their 40% rule. because if Nexstar buys and does this merger, they will own 81% of every single television that's out there in far as broadcasting goes. Wow. So not only are they trying to get a good deal with the FCC and have it actually approved, they are also hoping that the FCC will bend its own rules for them. So again, it's back to the affiliates. I absolutely understand. It is part of the public interest side of things. I'm not allowed to be part of that side of it. But saying this stuff from Jimmy, I don't believe warrants all the way to defaulting on public interest. It's a stretch to go that far.
It seems like in the emotional heat of the moment, things can get interpreted in such a way, colored,
and they need a patsy,
and it can destroy.
At the end of the day, they also need that person. They need somebody that they are able. Hi, everybody out there. It's good to see you guys.
Beautiful day to walk around.
Right? People walking past here on Douglas is fantastic. I think what they also need is they need a patsy. They need somebody that they can hang all of the other things on and say, okay, we got somebody. And we didn't just get somebody fired from a Kinko's. We got somebody fired from an actual
high
big
profile.
thing.
Yeah.
So to that point too, I've got two clips I want to play. This is Scott Jennings, and this is another person saying exactly the same thing. They can't just go around and spew everything that they want to.
He does not have a right to have a television show where he lies his ass off to the American people.
Well, there are repercussions to spreading lies.
There absolutely is. You absolutely have that side. Then we've got this, who is a news organization.
Millions of illegal aliens that Boris Harris brought into the country will be voting. The bottom line is this. There is massive voter fraud. Global warming is a hoax.
Crime is at an all-time high right now.
50 million on condoms in Gaza. They're taking people's pets and killing them and eating them. On January 6, 2 years ago, the overwhelming majority were peaceful. They were orderly and meek. These were not insurrectionists. They were sightseers.
So when you compare it to what Jimmy Kimmel has said versus they're eating the dogs and the pets and the things, if we're going to, by all means, if we say and we lower the bar and we set the bar at Jimmy Kimmel's words right now, then that is the bar. I don't want to hear anything else about any other something, about any other rhetoric or anything else that goes on about anything. Because if that's the bar, that's the bar. If that's where we want to set it, let's set it there. That's where I'm at with it, is where are we going to set this bar? And if we are going to set it there, everybody's got a limbo. That's how I've got to put it.
And it seems a fairly low bar in that there was nothing really overtly inflammatory about what he said. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I guess, context is king, though.
Absolutely.
He's paying.
So if we're going to have context, then we should absolutely take the literal words that somebody says. So if somebody decides in their national broadcast to say that we should euthanize the homeless, literal words, not like, you know what, maybe we should do something about the homeless. No, literal, involuntary, lethal injection, I think was what the words are. What do we do here? That's my only point with this, is if we are going to adjust the level of free speech, if we are going to say this is inflammatory and this does not serve the public and somebody cannot say these things over here, then we need to goose and gander this thing as much as we can throughout the entire thing. That's where I say it. Do I think it's a low bar? I think it absolutely is way too low.
It's pretty low. It's very low.
So that's really, I don't want to make it a are they going after? Are they not going after? This is the cancel culture that people were screaming about. Screaming. I mean, Joe Biden asked for Twitter to not put something on, and everyone screamed about that. And here we are yet again, another executive who's in power who says, I don't like the things that are over there.
What do you think? Like Mark Zuckerberg just recently has come out and said that they were forced to do, or they did everything that the Biden administration told them to, like censorship.
It's terrible. Should have never done it.
But do you think that's a bit revisionist for Mark to come out after the fact? After that, obviously they were hand in glove. They're
if Mark Zuckerberg is anything, he is an opportunist.
Oh Lord!
From what I've seen, the movie, right?
Well, see the opportunists. Like after Joe Biden was out of office, boy, it was kind of funny how everybody came out with these books, like that were actually on the shelves 2 months after he walked out the door. I mean, it was a lot of opportunities for a lot of people, and turning on the administration instead of saying something during the time, like he just said.
Well, it happened the same thing in 20, when John Bolton and Hutchinson and everybody started coming out with all of their books. Again, not saying anything during the administration.
Right.
It's one of those things that, just like all of our callers have been saying, we need better people. Honestly, is what it is. We need more respectful people. We need to find more, but this is the catch-22 of it. What meek, humble person is going to run for office?
That wouldn't just be shredded immediately.
Oh, exactly. And
that's very true.
When Dennis moves up in the world and works for a big network and he leaves, I got my book ready to go out. As soon as he leaves, everything that Dennis did in the studios, So I'm going to capitalize on that one, people.
See, and that's
bring you all with me.
That's one of the difficult parts of it, though, is because we see all of these things, and we know how many people on Capitol Hill right now have their manuscript ready.
Yeah,
just sitting there waiting for their term to end or whatever. And so it's very difficult. I'm sure on both sides, of course, and in the middle and anywhere else, to fight cynicism. It starts to creep in, and then you start to look at it all as just a con or just a put on or a game or the shills, and all of this stuff starts to come just raining down. And that's the human nature has its dark sides. But it just fighting the cynicism. I think the cynicism feeds the beast of this division more almost than anything else. Is that after a while you just get tired. The fatigue sets in, and you're like, oh, they're all on the take, and they've all got an angle, and they're all gonna.
I think it's when it became, instead of a sacrifice to be a politician, it became a boon to become a politician. I think that was the turnover. Before it was, I'm a business owner. I've now had a establishment, especially how in the local politics is. If somebody turns around, they say, I'm established, I can handle my stuff, I've got a little bit more time, let me get involved with it.
Seems more of a calling at that point, in a way,
than a job.
Versus a career path. Yeah.
So my question to the two of you, since we asked questions today,
go ahead.
Do you think that back in my days, and he's younger than we are, by the way. Okay, so remember that. But back in our days, in the 70s, the 60s, and 80s, nobody was offended by what people said. And we looked at the Constitution as freedom of speech, freedom of press, and freedom of religion. Nowadays, after social media and more populated people in one country now in the United States, do you guys think that social media made people more offensive of what people say, and took our Constitution and twisted it in different ways to favor them and just to exploit the situation? Because none of us really cared what people thought, and none of us knew what was going on. But man, the minute they came out, our society changed.
It's a central preoccupation now, what people think.
Yeah, and I think people were offended. I think people just didn't say that they were offended as often as they do now. There's a lot of times where there is this pride in telling somebody that you offended me, right? It's almost like, hey, that's one of my triggers. You offended me. Like it's almost like instead of when like anybody would offend you, like let's say we're having a meeting and maybe somebody passes gas, right? Might be offended. But I'm not going to call attention to it, right? I'm not going to turn around and be like, hey, man, they got outside or what? We're all just going to be adults and go whatever, right? Same thing with this type of stuff now, right? There are offensive people out there in the world. And a lot of times when you confront an offensive person, you don't get the oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know that was it. You usually get the, oh, why are you so offended, right? Because
the double down.
Yes, the offensive person. So to your point with social media as well, I think because we don't see somebody face to face, I don't see their reaction, I don't hear their tone. When you offend somebody and they don't say that they're offended, you can tell in their tone, you can tell in their body language. You can tell something. And a normal person would turn around and go, okay, I'm not going to bring up that I offended them. I'm just going to stay away from that subject. Now, in front of a screen, all I have is the subject. I only have that. I think it's called Poe's law. Is we cannot determine tone from text on the internet. So I could say the most sincere thing in the entire world, and everybody's like, "You sarcastic jerk."
Misconstrued.
Right.
Oh,
Exactly. Yeah.
I think it's that same side.
In person, you're 5'9", but behind the screen, you're 7 foot tall.
It's true. Huge.
And
huge in Japan.
And you can't hear any inflection. You know, that's the thing.
Right.
So we were talking earlier about the effect. Yes, the effect of social media. That's one of the central ones. Is that it takes out the humanity in our interaction because we can't hear the voice. My friends and I like to speak, kind of satirically sometimes, just having fun, and you send stuff up to have laughs, because when you can laugh at something, it doesn't have power over you. You take the power away. But in so doing, I think social media has really affected us in that way. Like you said, it turns a keyboard warrior all of a sudden who. Out in public, is he going to say half of this stuff to people that he's no? See, and that's the thing. Society has built in just filters for this kind of thing to keep us kind of from being obnoxious, overly obnoxious. You used to get punched in the nose for that kind of stuff sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, because you call a squirrel on social media. Now, no, he's a professional tree climber. Get it straight, mister.
Well, and even then, It's the old joke of how do you start a racist joke, right? By looking over your shoulder, right? That's where we've kind of lost that side. If people want to say terrible things in society, we used to shun people for saying terrible things. Now I can go to a forum where we all say terrible things at each other. It's fantastic. We all just yell at each other and sling whatever mud or whatever crap that we've got over there. So we've built these silos for us to maybe be nice or be more malicious. But for some reason, it all just blends because it's the same device.
Right.
It's not a different place. We didn't go to the bar to speak sports. We didn't head over to church to talk about religion. All I did was pull up a web page to spew whatever I wanted to in whatever page I want to do.
Right.
So it's absolutely there. I think the quality of the communication is what's really, really done in for it. Is we've lost the ability to actually have a deeper conversation about something without immediately taking offense from the other person's idea at all. It's like us trying to pick pizza topics, and as soon as you said pepperoni, I went, "Oh my God, you eat pepperoni?" Instead of, you know what, can we do a little bit of sausage or something? It just, that same thing that you were talking about.
And then next thing you know, the pizza is a third pepperoni, a third sausage, and a third mushroom. And then when it shows up, you stay on your side of your pizza. But yeah, I mean, right? And it's usually how it ends up going. But when you ever find yourself on like Facebook and there's a topic going on where people are just going back and forth, and now you find yourself fighting with that person on the other side, and then after a while you're like, why am I doing this? I mean, this is just stupid.
I banned myself from Facebook.
Yeah, right.
I eat too much time over there because just like I love doing this here for the show, a lot of it is educational. A lot of it is like, I see where you're coming from. The reason that you believe that is because you don't know this one fact.
Right.
And a lot of times, just that one piece of the puzzle makes people look at it slightly different. And I seem to be all the time filling in puzzle pieces on Facebook. So just the other day, somebody asked the boss lady to ask me something. I was like, that's why I'm not on Facebook. So.
Yeah, and then you know, something that's starting to come like Facebook is the Ring doorbell, and you get the Ring notifications. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
Are you? And most of the time it's lost dog, lost cat, found dog, found cat, and then you get some of the people that just get funny. And that's the group of people, because they're not fighting on the ring messaging. It's fun. It's like snow's coming. And people are like, is Santa's Village going to be open today? Or is the water park going to be open today? That's kind of the fun humor you see into that compared to what you see on the rest, like Twitter and everybody else.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that group I kind of like, because every time there's a snowstorm, everybody starts in, is City Hall going to be open today?
Yeah, the Nextdoor app is fantastic, too.
Yeah.
But I think we all find into our social medias. For me, I think all social medias are essentially the same now.
Yeah.
They're kind of pushing the same stuff. They might have a different flavor. I think it's the UI. How do you like to interact with the app itself? Do you like a forum side? Do you like the silly videos you scroll through? It's all the different styles of things.
I like silly videos.
Silly videos are great.
That's why I'm in there.
That's why we invented it, to send cat videos to each other. NASA was putting it together, T1 lines in everybody's houses.
All right.
It was great. We're going to come back. We still got 30 minutes left in the show today. The phone lines are still open, 847-931-1410. I got a few more clips that I want to play as well about this, or we can play a game. Let's see what we've got. Give us a call, 847-931-1410. You're listening to Apolitical Talk Show here on WRMN. Don't forget that the America's First Responders Fest is happening here this weekend at downtown Hampshire, 1 to 6.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Sky Rizzi. This week, the Wheaton City Council voted against a zoning amendment request to allow a domestic animal lounge at 923 Roosevelt Road. The petitioners, Candle of Hope, were aiming to build a cat lounge that would provide housing and play areas for cats and allow visitors to interact with the cats. The council voted 6-1 against the resolution. Councilmember Scott Brown raised concerns that the zoning amendment did not line up with plans the city council had discussed for the Roosevelt Road corridor. The Federal Reserve cut its key interest rate by 1/4 point Wednesday and projected it would do so twice more this year. The move is the Fed's first cut since December, and it lowered its short-term rate to about 4.1%, down from 4.3%. Before the meeting, investors on Wall Street had projected 5 cuts for the rest of this year and next. Fed officials submit their forecasts of future rate moves anonymously. A protest drew dozens to the District 300 Administration Building Wednesday, as some parents are calling on School Board President Nancy Zettler to step down following a social media post she shared regarding Charlie Kirk's death. The post read, quote, "The first thing I thought of when I heard this today was karma is an expletive. Then I read this." She then posted a quote from Qasim Rashid, which centered around the need for empathy following Kirk's assassination. Parents within District 300 said Zettler's post was insensitive. Around 60 people gathered outside the D300 Administration Building in Algonquin on Monday morning, as well as the intersection of Harnish and Randall Roads, to protest. Batavia officers were dispatched to a report of a burglary in progress just before 9:45 p.m. Monday at All Da Smoke on West Wilson Street. Police said officers discovered evidence of forced entry through the front door, but no suspects were at the scene. Officials are still working to determine what was stolen. An investigation into the incident is ongoing, and no charges have been filed. Anyone with information is asked to contact Batavia Police at 630-454-2500. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds. With that kind of money, you could go big time on a fancy water bottle with ultra titanium alloy metal. You're not sure why you need all that. I mean, it just holds water. But you're getting it anyway. Because if you're hiking near an active volcano and you accidentally drop the bottle into molten lava, your water will still be icy cold. Switch to Progressive and you could save big time. For water bottles. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states. Potential savings will vary.
This is Larry Jones, and I'd like to talk to you about my bank, American Eagle Bank in South Elgin. Has your bank changed names in the last 10 years? Is your bank another faceless branch with headquarters in another city? Are you tired of earning next to nothing on your savings account or certificates of deposit, or does your personal banker treat you like a stranger? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you're ready for a new banking experience, and American Eagle is the place for you. American Eagle is a locally owned independent bank that's rooted in the community. And American Eagle customers are greeted by name and treated with the respect that they deserve. American Eagle has an innovative program, Eagle Savings, that teaches your children to save while earning prizes and rewards. American Eagle offers great rates on certificates of deposit. My bank is located in South Elgin on Randall Road between the Target and Caputo's and is open Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 847-742-7400 and a real person will answer the phone. American Eagle Bank, a place where you matter.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Tonight, a chance of showers and thunderstorms before 5 a.m., then scattered showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy with a low around 64. Chance of precipitation is 50%. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high near 79 and a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Currently, it is 84 and overcast. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
Back to a political talk show here on WRMN. Haven't been introducing him as much as I should be. That is our new friend, Matt Ludke. Thank you very much for being here with us, Matt.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Anytime. If you would like to be on the show with us, it's as easy as picking up that phone, 847-931-1410. 847-931-1410. That's where you can go to jump in. Or you can send me an email if you'd like to be on the show in person. I'm at sonar@WRMN1410.com. WRMN1410.com is where you can go to learn all about the station. That's right. What station? WRMN 1410. It's right there in the .com. Are you paying attention? Anyway, David Tease has got something he wants to talk about, too.
Other than the First Responders Fest coming on Saturday from 1 to 6, the Del Webb Edgewater community on Saturday, September 20th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Mm-hmm. So if you get there early, you can check out their Fall Fest. Edgewater's Fall Fest, it's called. Craft Fair, Marketplace. They're going to have a food truck. There's a bunch of crafts, cookies, stuff you could buy, stuff you could. The women who are doing all these crafts at home or in their clubhouse and all that stuff sell these items, and it's a fun event. I went there last year. It's really great. They do a lot of work. It's open to the public. You just got to go out Bowes Road, Rando, head west to Edgewater, pull right down in there. Just keep going straight to the clubhouse. Park your car and go in there and meet some wonderful people in there.
It's a great place.
It is. They do a lot of community stuff into there, and it's a huge neighborhood, and it's a wonderful, great group of people in there. I met a lot of them, and I know a lot of them in there. I enjoy going in there.
It's all indoors, so if you're worried about the rain or you're worried about the heat or you're worried about walking around so much, it's all indoors, and they still line it up just as if it was an outdoor festival.
And there's some really good crafts that these women spend time throughout the year putting together.
Absolutely.
So, and then after you get done with that early, head to Hampshire to the Americans First Responders Fest, where you'll see me, Sonar, and everybody. Matt's coming, right?
I'll be there with bells on.
There it is, bells and everything. Also over in Carpentersville, we've also got a community yard sale. So if you are looking for selling anything Saturday morning as well for that, over at First Lutheran Church over at 2525 Helm Road. And that will be a community garage sale or yard sale, hot dogs, everything like that. You can actually bring your stuff, and they will set you up with a table.
Wow.
So you can head on over there. And then, of course, we want to make sure that you head on over to America's First Responders Fest.
That's a good community church there.
It is.
Yeah, they are really a nice group of great group of people. Sorry. And then if you're not hungover from the First Responders Fest, you should actually listen to Fantasy Football Blitz Sunday morning with myself and John Payne. And
set an alarm.
And get ready to get your starting lineup for football on Sunday morning.
Make sure you listen before the game. See, that's where I always run into the problem, is I listen to it after the game and I go, oh, that's right, I should have started that guy. So it's all about timing.
You can always go back on YouTube before the game starts and watch our show and get your updates.
Watch it right there.
Yeah, you can.
That's it. All kinds of great things that we're talking about over here. We've talked kind of a theme of free speech, polarization, just kind of the temperature of everything. As we wrap it up, I want to talk a little bit about the responsibilities that are out there. Where in the chain of our politics do our leaders come in, and where do our political parties come in, and what responsibilities do we have here? I think the overall theme of what we've talked about today is, first off, civility. You can't have civics without civility, right? I don't know if it's a direct correlation. I don't know. I'm not an etymologist. Even then, I'm surprised I said that correctly. So it's all part of this temperature, right? We hear about temperature, we hear about rhetoric, or we hear about all of these different things. Because we're inundated with so much information, we seem to speak in more of a vague term with things. Everything is great. Everything is awesome. Everything is the best thing that we've ever done in the entire world. We've lost. It's weird that we've gained so much communication with each other, but we've lost so many words. Our vocabulary has dropped, and I think that goes to what we were talking about too, Matt, about just definitions of words. So my question is where in our side, let's start low on this side of the totem pole. For us as citizens, where do we come in with lowering the temperature or lowering that rhetoric or that divisiveness? Where is just voters, where do we come in, and what's our responsibility for that?
That's a good question, because it seems that the biggest changes start at the smallest places. A sweeping change in society, people need to embrace something, and we are in such a fraught time that people don't. I don't think people are feeling. Well, I shouldn't say that. What I should say is that different groups of people are starting to be more welcoming, I think, because that's the only way I think that it's ever going to happen.
We have to open up.
Yeah, we have.
If the choice is to close and circle the wagons or open up, I think opening up is the best point.
We break down into tribes and nobody gets anywhere. It's true. So I'm not sure what it's going to take. You would think we would have gotten to that point by now. Things keep getting hotter, and people are harmed and in danger. But it starts with the individual. I mean, my coming to talk to you today is based on an interest in finally reaching out. I'm notoriously not a big joiner necessarily, but it seemed that things got to the point where it behooved me to start making inroads, communicating with people, talking, sharing the ideas. It seems like we've gotten so clannish, and the internet is part of that thing, that it divides, because again, like we were talking before, it just takes some of the essence of the humanity out of our communication. So you're just looking at bare words. But I think it comes in the form of maybe getting to know that neighbor you didn't know so well before. I think it starts in these little incremental changes, because obviously we can't attack a mountain just all at once. Climbing the mountain, it starts with a step, all these little steps. I think that over time we've lost a lot of that I think at a previous point we had more as a society, a little more cohesiveness. People tended to let people roll with a little more, because a lot of this stuff is like venting.
Yeah.
You know, it's just people wanting to get it off their chest. They just want to be heard and know that somebody heard them say,
we express ourselves so much.
Yes, I can't take this anymore. That little bit is a huge let off collectively over a society. That's a huge let off of all this extra steam. And that extra steam, when it's misdirected or it's under the, it can be easily steered into negative places very easily. And I think there are many people that are aware of that kind of stuff. And that a narrative or rhetoric or whatever is pushed in certain ways to push it. You know, nobody likes being pushed into a corner. And once you are, you have very few options.
You're going to fight back. That's right.
Yeah.
Dave, you've walked the streets of Elgin more than either of us combined. Is that the way to go? Is it knowing your neighbors, knowing the person beside you? Is it bringing back that the person in the car next to you on the highway, the person on the other side of the screen is a person? Is that what we've got to do on the individual level?
We got to listen to each other speak. And then, instead of like, if somebody's a barking dog, or let's say you got a barking dog in the backyard, bark, 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 bark. You finally tell the dog to shut up. He's going to keep barking because now you just noticed him, recognized him, okay? If people are making comments on social media, why can't you just not respond to them? And if people don't respond to that stuff, they're trying to draw attention to cause trouble, they'll stop doing it because now you're not getting the attention you want. But if you just sit down, like this guy here and me met for the first time just last Saturday at Donald Puckett's gear thing, and we both sat down and talked. I didn't shut up, and then he was like, left his wife, goes, man, if that guy just go on.
Is he on the radio?
We talked about stuff. We talked about sports. We talked about where we were at. We talked about what we do. I'm a plumber. He's a painter.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about gears for a second, right? Because what you guys have started to do with Donald Puckett and with the King County GOP, right?
Yeah.
What you guys have done is essentially open up a forum to talk in this open side, but back to the grassroots of how politics was discussed to begin with. Maybe not smoky rooms so much, but definitely a pint in your hand.
Right.
Or at least a feeling of everybody is welcome here.
Yes.
I think that's where, when we get a lot of our politics from pundits, we get a lot of our politics from talking heads.
Yes.
Those talking heads are cheerleaders. They are. And at the end of the day, I can be accused of being a cheerleader as well, but mostly for America, right? But anyway, they don't cheer for the other team. You don't hear about how great the other team did. You always hear about how bad they are and how we're going to beat them and how it's all this, back to your tribalism for it. But coming into a forum where you're able to express yourself, not necessarily from a GOP type of side for things, but an open forum in general of just people that are politically minded, because that's what the founding fathers that's what their intention was let's let everything say everything out there, and it's the truth that is going to swell up.
Yeah, and the thing about gear, what is kind of like 1774, before there were actually political parties, people sat in pubs back in the day and they
complained
drank,
about
and they
King George.
Yeah, they complained about King George. I mean, you didn't, and it's what, 1776, that's how they decided to start strategizing about making us free where we're at today. But in those, nobody really talked politics, and that's what our job. We're not there to talk bad about people and Democrats and all that stuff. We welcome Democrats. Let's sit down and talk, about what we could do to make things better.
Because you don't want to talk party. Right. I don't want to talk your party did this, my party does that, or anything else.
You want to talk neighbor stuff, community stuff. What can we do to make our stuff better? I mean, back in 1776, I'm sure you did this here. Did you believe what George Washington said? I cannot believe that came out of his mouth, that he wants to change this,
Hamilton wanted a central bank. Are you crazy?
I mean, but that was the whole purpose of gear, is to socialize, to get to know each other and come together for a cause of working hard together. And Making a new friend.
That's right.
That's what that was about, because now this guy's my friend.
Thanks for coming over, man. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
So, and I think we need to talk about politics without bringing in duels or bringing in fighting or bringing in that other side to it, because at the end of the day, and I say it the same way, if we can't find compromise within the Constitution, one of us isn't following the Constitution.
Right.
That's how I look at it, is if we can't compromise about America in here, one of us isn't playing by the rules, isn't playing by,
it's a
let's
very
get it.
intelligently written document. I mean, the depths to which the founding fathers and the authors thought about that. Imagine building into it the flexibility that they did. It's crazy when you stop and read it.
It is, and it's not long, guys. I carry it in my pocket. Like, it's not crazy. It's not like I'm rocking a King James over here. Like this, it's just a few pages, and I got the Declaration of Independence too.
Oh, yeah.
Bonus. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things that even then with verbiage and with definitions, even that I think is what the Supreme Court has absolutely Swiss cheese this at a certain point, because of words. Mm-hmm. And to think that we can't agree on the words for things and therefore we can't agree on the rest. For me, it's like I'm not speaking French. Like, I'm not coming up with a whole nother side of Latin that's coming out of here. It's written. We're communicating in this. And I think that's part of the point of people that don't want us to be together, is you muddy the waters. To bring forth Nietzsche again, is that the person, the charlatan, will actually muddy the waters to make it seem deep, right? Is let's just make it all murky. Let's move it all around. You can't see the bottom. You can't see how clear, and you can't see how deep it is. But trust me, it's deep. It's real big. It goes all the way down. And I think that's part of what we're running into right now these days. Is we don't even want to live beyond the surface level of anything. Everybody wants that quick fix. Everybody wants the fast solution. Nobody wants to actually sit and think about what they actually believe. Because a lot of times for me, I found hypocrisy isn't because it's willful. Nobody's willfully going, you know what, I like that, but I don't like that. And they can, nobody's willfully being that way. A lot of times it's, we don't know we are. We don't know that, okay, yeah, you're right. That is similar situations. Okay, yeah, I didn't know that this one piece over here. And a lot of it with fear or anger and everything else is information. Information is that quelch of that fire, passion, and everything. And I'm not just talking about information that's written down in a book. I'm not talking about information you get from a podcast or a radio show or maybe a late night comic. I'm talking about the information that you gather between each other of how we feel. Stop speculating what your neighbor is. Stop speculating what the Republicans are. Stop speculating what a Democrat is. Meet one. Mm-hmm. Talk to them.
Right.
Don't give them a hug, maybe shake their hands, but recognize them as a people.
Yeah. Once you meet the boogeyman, he's much calmer and easier to deal with.
Oh, you know what? It's so bad.
Right. Yeah. And like you just said, talking about things with people like him, I could sit there and tell him, as a plumber, you show up to a construction site, the painter's always parking the driveway. Plumber has 100 things to bring in the house. He's got one brush. So I'm going to walk up to him and say, hey, buddy, could you kindly move your car? Because I got like toilets to bring in and faucets, and you just got a paintbrush.
Now you're opening a can of worms.
Yeah,
you know that, right?
Yeah.
You know where we're going.
Get in my face. Hey, man, that paintbrush is heavy.
Mm-hmm. Plumbers and electricians punching holes in the walls willy-nilly. I know. I've done a lot of patches.
But you know what? At the end, I'll move your car for you, buddy. And then we go inside. I crank up my music. You hate it. And then we're back at a new subject again.
Well, in the end, we've made something beautiful together, though.
Yeah, we build a foundation. We put a house together, and we give somebody a home.
Yeah. And I make everybody, you look good that came before me. That's what I do at the end. That's the art of it.
There it is. Well, it wouldn't be a Free Speech Friday without a game. So let's get a game in here, guys. We're going to play Is it in the Declaration of Independence? And we're even going to get more specific with it. We talked about grievances when we were here last time. It was Don Puckett, and we also had Cecilia Brooks on with us. We talked about the Declaration of Independence and how a lot of it is just a Dear John letter. Here's all the stuff that you didn't do right for it. So I'm going to give you some grievances. You tell me if they are authentic from the Declaration of Independence, or I fabricated them.
Okay.
Here we go. We only got about 5 minutes, so I can't rake you over the coals too much.
You know when he fabricated, his lips moved.
Here we go.
Swift mercy, yes.
You can work as a team as well, and it's open book. Just no phones, please. He has refused to assent to laws the most wholesome and necessary for the public good. He has refused to assent to laws the most wholesome and necessary for the public good.
Fabricated.
Fabricated or real? What do you got? You got one fabricated?
I feel it's fabricated.
It was real. Oh, yeah, that's in there.
He said it trickily.
It is. Here, I'll give you another one.
Okay.
He has mandated that colonists wear powdered wigs on all holy days under penalty of fine.
I think that's real.
Yeah,
that's real.
I'm going to go with him on that. He went with me, but it's not because he's laughing right away.
Yes, well, once they bring in the powdered wigs, it's over.
It's true. It's true.
That felt silly.
That is a little silly. Not as silly as this one. He has decreed that every colonial family must quarter not only soldiers, but also the king's personal falcons.
You know, we did this a little different one last time, and I can't remember how that went. And I'm going to say fabricated.
Yeah, that was fabricated.
Yeah, once they get into the falcons, too.
Yeah, it's true. He did talk about making us quarter people, which is absolutely why it's in the Bill of Rights.
Oh, yes.
I don't think it's come up since. It's definitely not an amendment that people are like, you know what, the rule where it really says quartering, it's really we're not supposed to chop people up. So here we go. How about this one? He has dissolved Representative House repeatedly for opposing with many firmness his invasions on the rights of the people.
It's real.
Real.
That is absolutely real. Dang King George doing those dang things. Here we go. He has kept among us in times of peace standing armies without the consent of our legislators.
Ooh, I'll say real.
Fabricated.
That one is real. Oh. Yeah, it's there. It's also one of the ones that when people tweet the Declaration of Independence, they seem to think that this is about President Trump sometimes.
Imagine that.
Right? It's crazy. Especially this one. He has imposed taxes on us without our consent.
Absolutely real.
That is 100% in there. How about this one? He hath set apart certain commodities and trades to be carried on exclusively by his favorites in the mother country. Fabricated. Yeah, they don't say mother country. That's crazy.
No, yeah, that wouldn't.
You gave it away there.
It would. Yeah,
it is. Yeah,
they wouldn't have said that.
Let's see here. Some of these are ridiculous. I can't remember. You guys are going to get that one. How about this one here? He has obstructed the administration of justice by refusing to assent those laws for establishing judiciary powers.
Real.
That is real. He has made judges dependent on his will alone.
Fabricated.
Real.
That's real. Yeah, that's absolutely real. Yeah. King George, terrible. Let's see here.
He was a mad king.
Absolutely. Let's see here. He hath enjoined upon the people of these colonies the wearing certain fashions and badges of the court as signs of loyalty, and hath inflicted fines and public reprimand upon those who, from modesty or principle, refuse the same.
Real.
That's wordy enough to be real, right?
Yeah, but
it's fabricated. Yeah, it's there. Hey, I want to thank you both for being here. Also, I want to push the 49th annual salute dinner that's happening. 59th, sorry, 59th. Dyslexia coming in. So we've got 6 p.m. social hour and the 7 p.m. dinner over at the Holiday Inn on October 2nd. This is honoring Chris and Sarah Lawson, featuring keynote speaker Gary Rabine. Also, honored guests are Illinois Representative Dan Ugast and Illinois State Representative Martin McCullen. You can find out more at the Elgin Township Republicans. I'll tell you what, Matt, it has been fantastic having you here. I would love to bring you on again.
Anytime, I'd love to, and I'm about to go see the Larkins homecoming game.
There you go.
Oh, that'll be fun
and
over there.
also, Brendan, I hope to see you at First Responders tomorrow. We're looking forward to seeing you there. I see you there, buddy.
That's right. First Responders Fest happening in downtown Hampshire from 1 to 6 p.m. I'll be there. You'll be there too. Come on. Why not?
A loved one owns a gun. And for a while now, you've been concerned about their behavior. They're just not acting like themselves. They've been distant. They've been unpredictable. They've been lashing out. They've been saying things that make you worried they might harm themselves or friends or family. Or you're worried this loved one might hurt you. Maybe they recently threatened someone with their gun. You know something needs to be done, and you wish more than anything you could hit pause on this situation. Well, here in Illinois, you can, with a firearm restraining order. In extreme cases, this order temporarily prevents a person in crisis from having a firearm, giving them time to heal before they do something dangerous or even deadly. If you are worried about a loved one in crisis who has access to a firearm, learn more about firearm restraining orders at illinois.gov/pause to heal. A public service announcement brought to you by the Illinois Department of Public Health, Brady, and the Ad Council.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time. 6 o'clock.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by Sky Rizzi. A protest drew dozens to the District 300 Administration Building Wednesday as some parents are calling on School Board President Nancy Zettler to step down following a social media post she shared regarding Charlie Kirk's death. The post read, quote, "The first thing I thought of when I heard this today was karma is an expletive. Then I read this." She then posted a quote from Qasim Rashid, which centered around the need for empathy following Kirk's assassination. Parents within District 300 said Zettler's post was insensitive. Around 60 people gathered outside the D300 Administration Building in Algonquin on Monday morning, as well as the intersection of Harnish and Randall Roads to protest. Batavia officers were dispatched to a report of a burglary in progress just before 9:45 p.m. Monday at All the Smoke on West Wilson Street. Police said officers discovered evidence of forced entry through the front door, but no suspects were at the scene. Officials are still working to determine what was stolen.